Scotland's a wild and lovely place.
But there's a change we must embrace.
Scotland's water's world class.
No doubt.
So, take a refillable bottle.
When you go out.
It's your water, your life.
Top up from the tap with Scottish water.
Fresh, cool, clear.
And only available right here.
The latest in tech suit innovation. Frictionless fiber construction. Surface lift technology. Endo compression cage.
You should be able to hear me and I should be able to hear you okay. We did a wee sound check.
Seamless exo shell.
Fine.
Tier Vinzo. Battleborn.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2019 Scottish National Age Group Championships live from Tollcross International Swimming Centre. I'm Robert Taylor and I'm joined this afternoon by Ross Douglas, who is now the Edinburgh University coach, or one of the coaches over at Edinburgh University. Hello there, Ross. Good to have you.
Nice to have me here. It's a great opportunity to watch some fast swimming tonight and hopefully see some stars in the future.
Yeah, this is the premier event for our youngsters at school. Ross has been well involved with this at North Ayrshire a year or two back, but recently he's just moved over to take over a coaching position at Edinburgh University. And you've got a couple of swimmers from Edinburgh Uni swimming here tonight.
Yeah, we're in a bit of a unique situation with the school system in Scotland, where we sometimes get some kids that are still 17. So two swimmers here tonight, and Kirsten Laurie and Andrew McIntosh. So wearing two caps tonight, commentating and coaching, so trying my best to stay impartial.
Yeah, I actually spoke to Kirsten this morning, and she was away to get a lie down, to get a rest and come back refreshed. As you say, it's unusual for some of the swimmers who have just actually turned 18 in January and February, most of them, that they're that year ahead. Most of the swimmers obviously are in their last year at school. As you can see on the right hand side of your screen, that's what we have coming up this evening. We kick off with a 200 back for girls, 100 back for boys. Girls 100 free, boys 200 breast, girls 50 breast and 50 butterfly for boys. One of the new things that have come in this year, we have introduced relays at the end, Ross, and you know we've got to the stage that we get the end, last event. There's no relays, there's no big buzz, but we're hoping there'll be a big buzz this evening with the mixed relay.
Definitely with the mixed relay, it's a new event into the Olympic Games. It's great tactically, it's so different. You could have boys racing girls. I think it's really good for the sport. I think it's taken us into the next stage, and it's something I'm looking forward to watching tonight actually. So
just to keep you posted, as you can see, that's our technical officials just waiting in the corridor. They'll be coming through in a few minutes. Session starts at 5:15. Some of the things to look forward to this evening on the backstroke, we've got 5 different age groups. It's 11 to 13, 14, 15, 16 and 17 stroke 18. So big ask for 11 and 12 year olds to make a backstroke or a 11 to 13 year old final. And this evening's final, it's all 13 year olds. 17, 18 is a joint age group for the older girls, but 14, 15, 16 and that's the very same for the boys. Should have an interesting one in the 16-year-old category. Iona McLeod and Ellie Turner at Edinburgh International are separated by 1/100th of a second. Iona just prevailing, but Ellie Turner from Carnegie, she went very well in the heats earlier today, and she'll be a strong fancy. Stefan Kravitz almost broke the 50 butterfly age group record. He's just turned 13, so 27.47 in the heats. That comes up towards the end of the session. So we'll see. He actually went out very strong. We did think that he'd maybe try and nail it in the heats, but he has a second opportunity this evening to do that in the final, Ross.
Yeah, Stefan's a kid that I've had quite fortunate to see at a lot of events. I watched him at North Districts in November and was very impressed by him. Every time he seems to toe touch the water, he's breaking a record, so I'm sure there's definitely more in the tank tonight. I would expect that record to go.
Also, boys backstroke in the older age group, 17-18, I think strong fancy would be Keir Edgar. He's got the two City Glasgow boys, Connor and Ryan, that are probably either side of him, Connor Massey, Ryan Robertson, two up and coming 70-year-olds, but I think you'd agree, Ross, Keir will be the strong fancy in that.
Yeah, Keir's he's made backstroke his event at these kind of meets. Ryan again, you can't count out. I've seen him go sub 60 a couple of times this season. I had the pleasure to have Ryan with me in Geneva with the Scottish Shoe Squad. He's very capable, so that'll be a good contest tonight.
The earlier one, just the younger age group below that, Mark Ford, very impressive, another youth squad member, very talented youngster from City Glasgow, this being his home pool.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting big things tonight. I'm sure Ian Wright will be looking for Mark Danielle as well, his coach. So that's some of the earlier events. We've got some freestyle events coming up as well. Katie Shanahan, Lucy Grieve, that should be an interesting tussle in the 15-year-olds. Emma Russell and Katie Goodburn, and a few others. Rosie Morgan from Hamilton Aquatics. We've got some swimmers, as we were talking about earlier on before we came on. There's a squad from Hamilton Aquatics over in Dubai, where you were based a number of years, Ross, so you know that setup well.
Yeah, this is actually an event I'm really looking forward to tonight. This girl's 16-year-old 100 freestyle, it's absolutely stacked. There could be a winner from between lane 1, 2, 3 to 7. It could come from anywhere, so I'm really looking forward to that. And as you said, yeah, Hamilton Aquatics was somewhere where I worked, so I've got a little bit of information on these kids, more than others would, so it's really nice to see them, nice to see the meet going worldwide.
Some of the things to look forward to in the boys' breaststroke. I thought Douglas Calder in the afternoon heats, 14-year-old from Bo'ness, swimming under the first banner. He was most impressive, had a roughly about 6-second improvement on his entry time, so I'm sure he'll go well. We've got Stefan Kravitz going in a breaststroke before that, and the young lad from Inverclyde, 15-year-old Matthew Garrity, who's come on leaps and bounds in the last year or two, a very promising youngster. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. Max Hagan and, as you say, Andrew McIntosh up against Archie Goodburn and Greg Fairbairn. That's a quality event at 17-18-year-old 200 breaststroke coming up later on. So some fascinating events, Ross.
Yeah, definitely. That 200 breaststroke tonight is a stacked event. That's got multiple British national medalists in there to your squad members. That could come from anywhere. Archie's represented Great Britain. Yeah, that's another final I'm really looking forward to tonight.
Of course, we finish off with some sprints. 50 breaststroke. Another youngster from Inverclyde, Amy Watson, has been flying in breaststroke this last year. So, like her counterpart Matthew, I'm sure she'll be looking to try and nail that 15-year-old breaststroke.
Definitely. Inverclyde are a club that I'm thoroughly impressed with. Shirley is doing a fantastic job there. The kids are coming through it just one after another, and they're coming through with good skills. That's the biggest thing that impresses me. It's not just swimming for swimming's sake. It's thoughtful, it's process. It's really something that you can see coming through in the future with them.
Yep. Katie Goodburn, Ellie Riley and Anna Morgan in the 16-year-old breaststroke. So again, that has the makings of an interesting one. Yeah,
Anna's Scottish actually. She's born in Aberdeen, so even though she swims in Dubai, she's of Scottish heritage. So just an event again, and we've got a lot of depth in. It's great to see some more depth in the girls' swimming side of things.
And we do have quite a few swimmers from down south appearing, and the odd one from Ireland. So it's good to have them here. Gives us that little bit extra competition for our own home-based swimmers.
Yeah.
So it might not be a surprise if one or two of them are actually number one on the podium. That certainly does happen from time to time, and if that happens, as you know, Ross, they're our Scottish champion, but they're not our national champion, so they still go away with the gold medal.
Yeah. And if you're really lucky, you get to go home with two.
Yeah. So you can see that's young girls getting ready to come poolside. First event is 200 backstroke. So 10 go in this. Lanes are positioned, as you can see, 0 on the opposite side to where we are, through to lane 9. So we'll run through the ladies taking part. These are all in 11-13-year-old category, all 13-year-olds. So we have in lane 0 Esme Lee from Finns, that's based over in Fife. Kate Carruthers from Heart of Midlothian, Jessica Dempster from Swim West Lothian, and her teammate Melissa Mainwaring in lane 3. In lane 4, Libby Freeman from Morpeth, Lexi Anderson from Dumfries, Jessica Heaps, another swimmer from West Lothian, Chloe Barron from Mid Lothian in 7, Erin Urquhart from Aberdeen Performance in 8, and Natalie Marshall, Swim It, goes in lane 9. This should be an interesting contest. Libby Freeman, 2:23.06, was well clear of the rest of the field, so the Morpeth swimmer should really dominate this one. It's maybe a question of being top Scot for the rest of the girls. So that's our first event underway, so I'll just pass over to Ross and he'll explain what these ladies should be trying to achieve throughout the 4 lengths of this event.
I think for me, 200 backstroke is one of the toughest events that you've got in the schedule. You really have to be careful that first 100. You've got a tendency, if you could overswim it, kids sometimes get a little bit excited, spin their arms a little too fast, kick their legs a little too hard, and it really pay for it in the back end. You're looking for a real good control for that first 100, then really building through the second half. And Libby here looks like she's doing that. The stroke rate looks pretty controlled. Doesn't look like there was much going with her legs, so she's swimming quite smoothly.
Got it quite nicely in a 33.19, almost 2 seconds ahead of Lexi Anderson, that black cap in the centre lane from Dumfries. It's a very talented swimmer from down that neck of the woods that we were talking about. Dumfries as well, produce a lot of good swimmers. It's a pretty small area, but they do very well. They probably punch well above their weight.
Last year they managed to break into the top 10 for the top points, which was an incredible achievement. Anthony really building on the success of that club that was led by Danielle and Ben Higson before. Great club with some great swimmers and a really good coach as well to boot.
As you can see, we're nearly about 3/4 of the way through the race, and the youngster from Morpeth, Libby Freeman, well clear in this one. It's all about second place. Melissa Mainwaring from Swim West Lothian with the sort of light blue in lane 3, just possibly shade second here.
Yeah, really putting a masterclass on here, Libby at the front, but yeah, the battle for second place between Lexi and Melissa is hotting up, and you can just see there that Melissa's just upped her stroke rate a little bit there, just pulling away that last 50. We'll see if Lexi's got anything to respond to, but it's all about Libby in the middle here, just really controlled. Her rate hasn't changed a lot, she's got an excellent catch, she started to build her legs in there, but here's Chloe Barron and Lothian making a final push here in the last 25.
She might sneak into third here, Ross. She's just actually flying. Libby takes that pretty easily, 2:23.60. Well, Lexi just, thankfully the water doesn't run out for her, and she gets there just to hold on to take third. So Melissa takes second and Lexi third. That was a very impressive swim by the Morpeth swimmer.
Libby a little bit slower actually there than she was this morning. maybe just didn't have the competition there to push her. Maybe she just had someone a little bit closer to her. She'd have maybe dropped the gear a little bit more, but just an excellent swim there from the young girl.
So after our 13 years, it's on to the 14-year-olds. So this could well be an Edinburgh contest.
Yeah, the East well represented here. Hearts, Warrender, West Lothian.
Maybe we Amy Shields from M&B just up the road could have something to say about that. She'll be trying to get into the medal position. Holly Lumsden in 0 from Heart of Midlothian. Ella Stevenson in 1, North Lanarkshire. West Lothian's Drew McKenzie goes in 2. Anna Green, Warner Bass 3. Rachel Saunders, Warner Bass 4. Holly McGill, Heart of Midlothian in 5. Amy Shields, O'Brien Bearsden in 6. Isabel Wood, Stirling Swim in 7. Amy Hartness, Dumfries in 8. Sienna Perry, Aberdeen Performance in 9. And Holly McGill had a very mature swim this afternoon in that 1500 freestyle. Just gradually built it from 200 or 300 out, got from 4th to 3rd, 2nd, and finished 18:05. Very impressive for a 1500 for a 14-year-old from Hearts. So let's see how she does in the backstroke. Rachel Saunders will be a strong fancy in this one. Nice start from Rachel in 4.
Yeah, just excellent underwaters there, taking it out. A little bit high on the rates, I think some of these girls may be a little bit excited here, but looks like the race is already starting to show in those middle 3 lanes.
Amy Shields in 6, very prominent. Let's see if she can maintain that. Big sister will be coming up fairly soon.
Must be something in the family.
Yeah, you just wonder if they all swim the same type of stroke equally as well in the family. It seems that way with the Shields. Rachel's off to a good start here, Ross.
Yeah, really dominant that first 50, really holding her stroke rate and count there pretty well. Race starting to split up a little bit here now, with Anna Green starting to show. So there's a bit of a battle halting up for 3rd here.
You can see just how competent Holly McGill is though. She's working pretty steadily, not working overly hard, Ross.
No, she's right on Rachel's shoulder. Actually now she's ahead. See where she makes this move on the 3rd 50 here.
Yeah, well, a little between the two, just about 0.2, and this is what she did in the 1500. It was very mature swimming, and she seems to be doing this again this evening. Yeah,
she's really just built this 3rd 50 excellently here, and really started to put a bit of water between her and Rachel. Let's see how she comes off this turn, see if Rachel's got anything to respond to, but I think she may have just broken her here.
Anna Green, as you said, Ross, just getting into the mix here, and looks as though she might be good for 3rd. But
I'm actually Amy Shields here. She looks like she's starting to come
Amy's
through.
Coming through, but this is a big surprise. I did not expect to see this sort of margin. Rachel Saunders, this is really her event, her backstroke, but Holly McGill,
dominant.
What's she been feeding herself on today after that 1500? She's really got the bit between her teeth. What a cracking swim from the Hearts lass. 2:20.66. Well, Rachel has actually just been tipped out to 2nd place. Anna Green flying at the end.
Anna having an excellent last 50 there. She was in close with 4th place with Amy there, and must have brought her arms in and legs. Excellent swim there.
Or you just reckon that Rachel maybe just went out just that little bit strongly, and maybe just blew up halfway through it?
It's a really difficult event, as I said at the beginning. If you don't get the balance right that first 100, you can really pay for it. Really different to like other strokes, obviously in backstroke. As silly as it sounds, you're on your back, so you're really dominant on your quads, the front of your legs. As soon as they start to go, they're closing the aim, there's 4 muscles, they start to tire, and it becomes really difficult to really get the stroke and where it needs to be. And for backstroke, body position's number 1, legs are number 2, and arms are number 3. That's the order, and if one of those goes, it's really difficult to compensate in other places.
So we move on to the 15-year-olds now. In lane 0 from Geary, Catherine Bodie. Astrid Hanna from Millfield School down the southwest of England is in 1. Lucy Grieve, South Ayrshire in 2. Elias McQueenie, City of Glasgow in 3. Katie Shanahan, her teammate, goes in 4. Dundee City Aquatic, Scarlett Ferris in that pink cap in 5. Our Heart swimmer, Rowan Saunders, goes in 6. Abby Sinclair, Warner Bass in 7. Morgan Anderson, Dundee City Aquatics in 8. And in lane 9, Shannon Rollick, Airdrin Monklands. So a strong favourite will be Katie Shannon. I think this is probably, out of all her events, this is really the strongest one for Katie. I think her backstroke of all her strokes is the one that she is really dominant. Let's see how she goes in this one. But in lane number 6, going very well, Rowan Saunders, Abby Sinclair rather, Scarlett Ferris in that pink cap in the middle lane. Katie Shannon, I'm sure, is just taking it nice and steady in the early stage, Ross.
There's a lot of experience here with Katie for such a young swimmer. She's had a lot of experience. She was recently away in December with British Swimming to the meet in Canada and Ontario. So the wealth of experience for such a young girl. But you can see just there, that first 50, now she's ahead and she's not really changed anything. She's swam exactly the same, but now she's pulling away from everybody else.
Yeah, as you say, she was third in that youth event over Ontario in the middle of December. She's actually the British age group champion and the obviously Scottish national age group champion, and she's really different class in this event. None of the competitors in Scotland are anywhere near the quality that Katie has. That's not to decry any of them. They're all very good swimmers in their own right, but halfway mark 106.57.
That's a good solid first 100. We'll see if she can keep that difference between the hundreds quite short. Normally 2 to 3 second drop off is where you kind of want to be on 200 backstroke, no more than that. If you can keep it in that window, you're on for a really good swim. But really hot battle here for second and third between the girls in 5, 6 and 7.
Well, I wonder whether Scarlett Ferris can upset the two girls from Edinburgh, Arts and Warner. Rowan Saunders in second, Abby Sinclair in fourth, Scarlett third, Katie Shanahan well clear now, 140 at the turn, just over 140.
Rowan actually had a really good turn there from Hearts of Midlothian. She came off the wall, went in head to head with the girls, came off about half a shoulder ahead, and she's just built from there. But Abby Sinclair's up the rate a little bit that last 25. We'll see if she's making a late challenge. It's looking pretty close. She might just edge it here in the last 5.
Looks like Abby's just going to get up there and does it right where it counts. 2:21.95 takes silver medal, and Rowan, well, she might be a wee bit disappointed, but she gets a medal anyway. 2:22.27 for Rowan.
Yeah, completely dominant swim there from Katie. First 50, nice and controlled, and then just built from there. Every 50 just got a little bit faster. 2:15. I'm sure Katie's focus might be in the 2 weeks' time for the British Championships, but we'll see. That's an excellent swim to post in the first night of a 5-day meet.
Yeah, Abby Sinclair gets up to take second. She was a finalist in this last year and manages to get second. Likewise, Rowan Shue was also a finalist in this, and you know, it's not about what they do at 12-13, not even at 14-15. It's good to see them building that and taking that on to 15. Hopefully they'll just keep on working away and still be with us in a few years' time. So medal presentations. This is the 13-14 year olds. See Dumfries' Lexi Anderson and 11-13 year olds, and Wanda Bass, Rachel Saunders in the 13 year old category. Was it Chloe Barron that got up to take second, and Rachel Saunders, Anna Green getting silver medal. And Libby Freeman from Morpeth. I'm sure she's enjoyed the journey up to take the gold. And that's representative Holly McGill in the 14-year-old category.
Yeah, it's good. We're obviously working in Edinburgh. You're working at the Royal Commonwealth Pool. We work pretty closely next to Warrender and Hearts, and we can see the great work that Costas and his team are doing, and Phil with Hearts. It's I was lucky to work with Emma Russell. Sorry, mind blank there. Emma Russell when I was in Geneva, and I was really impressed by her. He's really setting some good foundations with his swimmers there at Hearts, Phil, and Costas is doing the same at Warrender.
Yeah, and both of them will have tour reportages coming up very shortly. Yeah. Katie and Emma. And Chloe Barn, as you saw, getting an extra medal. She's because she is our top Scot in that event. Libby Freeman getting gold, but Chloe Barn, Scottish champion. Well done, Chloe, from Midlothian.
As you alluded to earlier as well, with more clubs coming up from down south and abroad, I know that on Friday in the Tarry West London are making an appearance. They're supporters of this meet, and they'll be bringing some fast girls and some boys now. They've recruited well in the summer, bringing up a bigger team, so it'll be interesting when that new dynamic comes into the fold.
Yeah, a bit interesting because Kirsty Flynn, swimmer at Leatherhead, has moved over. I noticed that in the programme she's moved over to Natari, and she's actually an Anglo-Scot, so good to have her up swimming competitively with us. So after those presentations we move on to our 16-year-olds. Now just a couple of swimmers from Edinburgh here, either sides of the pool. Rowan McGill from Hatton Midlothian in lane 0, Elias Fitzgerald, South Lanarkshire in 1, Holly Shand, Elgin in 2, Iona McLeod, Dundee City Aquatics in 3, Ellie Turner, Carnegie 4, in 5 from Hamilton Aquatics, Beeve Varley, Morven Lister, Carnegie 6, Ava Simpson, Dumfries 7, Lucy Lucas, East Lothian Swim Team in 8, and Kiana Bellotti, Warder Bass in 9. I wouldn't read too much into the times from the heats. Some of these girls just did enough, and a lovely start from Iona in that pink cap in 3, Iona McLeod. She was very impressive last week at the Edinburgh International. Ellie Turner though in that black cap tracking her, and Morven Lister in that other black cap in lane 6, also well there. B. Varley and the orange cap of Hamilton Aquatics might just be biding their time at the moment. Ross here.
Definitely 31.95 from Ellie in the first 50s, quite a strong split. I was talking to a coach earlier this morning saying Elizabeth Simmons, when she swam her 208, used to turn in 31, so I was a senior athlete that used to turn in 31 that would go 208. I'm not quite sure that Ellie is at that standard yet, but it's a fast first 50.
Well, they're 1-2 at the moment, that's how they were last year, 1-2.
It'd be interesting to see. Iona had the 1500 obviously this morning, how well she's recovered. Big event to then come back and swim a final, but she looks like she's done enough in the swim down to really make a challenge here with Ellie. But Ellie's just holding her rate a little bit faster. You can see the contrast between the two swimmers. Ellie's a little bit faster with a turnover, and she's now starting to pull away from Iona.
This is where Iona's just got to try and keep working, and just try and keep that stroke going. But as you say,
I wouldn't rule out Ava Simpson in lane 7. I've watched her a few times swimming in the past, and she's a very strong finisher. It might have left herself a little bit too much to do, but I've seen her come back like a train.
Slightly better turn there from Iona. She's pulled back a little bit, but it's a big gap. 140, 118, 142.69. Well, Beeve Varley from Hamilton Aquatics getting late into the picture, but I think she left that just too late. She'll certainly have to settle for third place, but Ellie has looked pretty dominant after about halfway. Ross here.
Yeah, the 100 she just came and she opened it up and put a bit of distance between her and Iona, and ultimately 2:16.6. It's a strong swim that.
Well, that's a good second and a half or so faster than she was just the best part of 2 weeks ago at the Edinburgh International. Iona McLeod 2:18.14. I'm sure she did a 2:18.32. 2:13.33 was the time that Ellie did. Bee Varley 2:20.40 takes the bronze medal.
Yeah, it'd be interesting how Iona's feeling after that 1500. Interesting if she hadn't done it, if it would have made a difference. Unlikely, but you never know. Bee Varley was in the same situation. She had the 1500 medalled as well.
Yep.
So kudos to the girls for coming back tonight and putting in a great performance like that.
So the last backstroke for this evening, 17-18-year-olds, Sarah Fraser in lane 1 from Aberdeen Performance. Alice Meldrum, South Lanarkshire, goes in 1. Erica Chopek, Heart of Midlothian, in 2. Serena Iguanam, Surrey Glasgow, in 3. Holly Houston from Tontendine goes in 4. Ellis Shields, Mulgine Bearsden, 5. Emma Scully, City Glasgow, 6. Nicola Lees, West Lothian, 7. Caitlin Dodds from Finns in 8. And Wally Gordon, Blackpool Aquatics, in 9. I find it hard to believe that Serena Iguaram is swimming in the older age group. Makes me feel old, Ross.
I know. I remember watching her win her British Championships 2 years ago now, and it seems like it was just yesterday, and now they're coming to the end of nearly their age group swimming. It's just makes me feel old now.
Well, Ellis Shields, 2:19.10 the heats. Holly Hudson from Tontendine, 2:18.89. Well, Ellis Shields, this is really her event. She's been doing a fair mixture of other events recently. Pretty good on her freestyle. She's improved her freestyle, but she's got off to a very strong start in this one, Ross.
Yeah, I was speaking to Adam O'Reilly, our coach, just before the session, and just getting a bit of feedback on how she swam this morning, what was the plan for tonight, and he says that it was going to be attack from the beginning and have some fun while doing it, which is a really great message, I think, to swimmers. Yes, there is a serious point to it, but if you can have some fun doing it, then you're ultimately going to be a better swimmer for it.
Well, the girl, she's going to try and beat Holly, second at the Somerset Championships, and she's no slouch either, 9th at the British Championships, and Ellis 3rd at the British Championships, so she's got more pedigree, but it's what you do in the pool tonight that counts. She's also the Scottish National Age Group champion last year, and she was 16. Swinging that 17-18-year-old category. She's got the best part of a second advantage. Emma Scully and Serena Guaram, they may well be vying for 3rd and 4th place, the two City Glasgow swimmers at the moment. It's advantage Serena. Emma Scully will finish strongly in lane 6. At the moment it looks good for Ellis.
Yeah, Ellis split at 105.8 there at the 100. Second 50 was a 34.5 off a 31, so she's holding it well. We'll see where this third 50 is.
Well, again another 35 or so, Ross. So
yeah, she's holding it well.
She comes into the meet on a 2:15.
Yeah,
another swimmer that won the youth festival over at Geneva recently, and
yeah, thoroughly dominant here, and she swam it. I thought maybe the first 50, Adam told me that we were going to go out, they were going to take it out strong, and she's done it, and she's committed, and she's building, she's getting faster as we're going through and putting more distance between her and...
Well, she's going to be pretty near that 2:15, which is probably a short course conversion to long course, so that may well be pretty close to her long course PB, 2:16.69, pretty dominant throughout. 3rd place was Serena, just in no more, 2:22.35. Emma Scully 2:23.01 in 4th.
A very well paced swim there from Ellis, holding about 35s when she got into the middle race. The only thing I would say, just that last 50, really, because every other split goes to feet, you kind of expect that last one just to be a little bit quicker. It's probably about the same, just because you're going to hand rather than to feet. But look at picking it faults here, and she's had a great swim. It's a really good prospect, and also a really nice kid to boot.
So that's a conclusion of the backstroke for this evening for the girls. We continue with backstroke, but we half the distance. We have some more presentations before that gets underway. Some very strong swims in most of these events already. It just shows you the quality of the youngsters we've got coming through, Ross.
Yeah, it's amazing. I was talking to Lewis Smith, and obviously me and Lewis came through at the same time as we were swimmers, and we were talking about it was never a thing about being scratched from a meet. Now the competition to get into meets is so much more. It was a case you entered and you always got in. Now it's the difficult to just get into the meet, and it's just a great place for Scottish swimming to be in at the moment.
So there we have Rowan Saunders. In fact, it's not Rowan Saunders. Sorry, my apologies. I'm getting my Rowan's mixed up here, Ross. Rachel Saunders, I was thinking from the previous season. Rowan Saunders, the bronze medalist. 15-year-olds. Bee Farley from Hamilton Aquatics in the 60-year-old category. Iona McLeod, silver medalist in the 16-year-olds. And runner-up in that was Abby Sinclair from Warner Baths in the 15-year-old category. Our Scottish National Age Group champions, 15-year-old, has been presented. That's Katie Shannon, that blue top, and the black top, the Carnegie top. That's Ellie Turner.
Bee Valley using those tiptoes to get a wee bit extra height there.
Yeah.
It's good to see, as I said, these girls get to go on trips with each other quite a lot. They're all involved in the youth squad system, and yeah, they're the best of frenemies. That's the way I'd like to. They're in there, they're racing, but after it's done, it's dusted, and they're all friends. Serena with that trademark smile.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Actually, they go to the same school, I believe. The two girls, Ellis and Serena, I think they go to Bearsden Academy. So schoolmates as well as rivals, as well as swim mates. So
yeah, you always see Serena on regardless of whether she's come first, second or third, there's always a big smile on her face.
Yeah, every time.
Never gets disheartened. I was speaking to her dad earlier today, and she's busy with exams coming up, but she just keeps plugging away, and she'll enjoy the 5 days here.
No, it's exciting me. It's a little bit different for me this year. Normally this is a real focus at age group swimming, but it's a little bit more relaxed for me being here these next 5 days. It's normally it's in here at 7 o'clock and out here at 8 o'clock, and don't get me wrong, I love every minute of it, but it's nice to have a little bit of break this time around.
Yeah. So you disappear in about 12:30 or so, and coming back maybe about 4:30.
Yeah, a wee bit earlier than that. Try not to be smug about it when all these coaches are here grafting away. Try and slope off without being noticed. There's nothing worse when you see someone smiling and leaving.
So we move on to the boys. This is the 11-13-year-old. We have Murray Dixon from Stirling Swimming 0, Alex Scott, Dumfriesson 1, Calvin McDonald, Aberdeen Performance 2, Christopher Dufa from Hamilton Aquatics in 3, Stefan Kravitz, East Lothian in 4, Lucas Brown, Elgin in 5, Callum Peebles, East Lothian 6, Luke Hornsey, East Lothian 7, Nicholas Castella from Hamilton Aquatics is in 8, Thomas Ingalls, City Glasgow in 9. So three East Lothian lads, Stefan Kravitz, Callum Peebles, Luke Hornsey.
Yeah, well represented in those younger age groups. Bruce is doing a fantastic job there at East Lothian, building on the success of my colleague Matt Trodden. Great area with some great swimmers coming out of it. Stefan just dominating here from the straight, from the.
Lucas Brown in 5, going very well. He's gone about a body length clear at this early stage. Elgin swimmer 31.20, well, 32.47, and Stefan Kravitz slightly better turn, but he's still got some work to do. He's coming now.
Yeah, I wonder if Lucas has maybe just over raced that first 50, but he's still holding on and keeping the distance between him and Stefan.
Certainly looks strong enough. It looks as though he might just be good enough to hold Stefan. Looks that way, Ross.
Yeah, it does, but Stefan just in that last 5 metres looks like he's just coming through, but looks like it's Lucas's on the touch.
And Lucas just gets there and oh well.
Wow.
Well, the scoreboard, you don't see the scoreboard, but 105 1:08 and 1:05.63. Our officials will confirm that, but as you can see, both arms from both these boys going down at different angles, and it's how you actually touch that pad at the end.
And that is a confirmed result.
And there we have it, Stefan Kravitz, 1:05.08, 1:05.63. Well, I don't think we saw that coming.
No, I don't. I'd like to see that again. Actually, it looked like the two boys went in at the same time, but again, we've got the touch pads are the final rule, and they don't normally get it wrong. So we always remember the famous moment between Kravitz and Phelps in Beijing in 2008. Looked like one person had won, but the clock said otherwise. So you don't argue with the clock.
Certainly our officials have confirmed that for us. So Stefan just snatches that by about half a second. It didn't seem to be that in the touch, it was fractions, but we've got it at a different angle. We're not right bang on that line.
No, that's quite surprising. As we said, where we were sitting, it looked like it was Lucas's, but no, the race isn't over until it's over, and that's a prime example there of it's 100 metres, not 99.9.
So to our 14-year-olds. So in lane 0, Owen Williamson, East Lothian swim team. Robert Burgess, West Lothian, is in 1. Ryan King, Glenrothes in 2. William Storer, South Aberdeenshire, goes in 3. Elliot Woodburn from Kendal is in 4. Ewan Beattie, Warner Baths 5. Jack Brown, Heart of Midlothian in 6. Angus Johnson, West Dumbartonshire in 7. Ewan McLeod from Crawley in 8. Dylan Cashmore, South Ayrshire in 9. One of the few Hearts boys making a final. Hearts well represented with their girls, but don't have a lot of boys that are there at the club. It's just one of these things. They seem to attract a fantastic quota of girls and do some fantastic work on his team.
It's a cycle thing with most clubs. You'll see it at previously at North Ayrshire. We had a strong contingent of boys with very limited girls, and we were lucky that a few moved over. But with the younger end of the club, it was more girls than boys, and you find it at the bottom end of clubs. The younger boys, they want to play football, and they kind of come into swimming a little bit later, and they normally go a little bit further. But yeah, it's just a thing with most clubs. It all comes in cycles.
So a good start in lane 4. Elliot Woodburn from Kendal. He looked pretty impressive in the heats this afternoon, and off to a very good start here at Ross.
Yeah, he's great underwater the first 15 metres, and got to 15 first, turning a 30.3, which is quick first 50. But there's a race in the middle here as well for second and third between the two Warrender boys.
Ewan Beattie in lane 3.
Angus Johnson.
William Storer from South Aberdeenshire, prominent. It looks as though Ewan Beattie might just be shading that second place, but the lad from Kendal is well clear Elliot Woodburn. Although Ewan's now closing on him, but still a good body length ahead. So inside the final few metres, 1:03.17 for Elliot, 1:04.59 for Ewan, and third place, as the seedings would have suspected, William Storer in lane 3, 1:06.12.
Now a good swim there from Elliot. One thing I'm just noticing more across the boarding backstroke is just the speed in the last 5 metres. I saw it with Steph in there and Lucas. It's just keeping the speed and the rate in the last 5 metres as consistent as it was in the middle of the pool. A tendency when you see those flags, you either panic or miscount, and it's really, really important. As soon as you change the level of your speed, the count changes, and I've seen a few just misjudging their finishes there, and ultimately could be the difference between a medal, a time. Just good skills. Something I don't think we practice well enough in training is finishing properly. It's something I think we could look at even at senior level. Is something that I'm pressing hard at.
So I hope you were all listening there to Ross. I'd take that on board. Those of you who are just maybe starting off, something to bear in mind. So I'm not quite sure if we move on to another set of presentations. A mixture of swim, usually swim a couple or 3 and then just bear with us for a wee moment, and Ross will be back with us in just a second. One of his swimmers has just turned up, so he's just giving a few tips on how to swim the race. The next event is the 15-year-olds coming on poolside for the 100 backstroke. So over on that far side in lane 0 we have Lucas Grieve from first. In 2 from Mulgine-Bearsden, Rory McKinnon. Craig MacDonald is in lane 2 from West Dunbartonshire. It's Craig MacDonald. Sam Glass from Wonderbass in 3. Cameron Travis, Aberdeen Performance in 4. Jake Kirkham first, goes in 5. Alex Thompson, Wonderbass in 6. 7. Liam Campbell, Stirling Swim. Callum Dunn, South Ayrshire in 8. Ewan Duns, West Lothian, goes in lane 9. Well, this one in the 2 middle lanes. Jake Kirkham. This is definitely Jake Kirkham's strongest event of the 4 disciplines. Backstroke. Cameron Travis, Aberdeen Performance, will be wanting just to ensure he's won better. Let's see if anybody can upset the apple cart in this one. Cameron in 4, Jake in 5.
That's a great start there from Cameron in the middle lane from Aberdeen. Really left us underwater there, but Jake's made up for that, and he's now sitting about on his shoulder. Jake's swimming with a slightly higher rate than Cameron, but it's working for both swimmers. We'll see who can build through that second 50.
Well, the guy from West D, Craig MacDonald, going very well in 2 in that brown cap, browny red cap. He's prominent in 3rd. Advantage by just over half a second from Cameron there.
Now Cameron again just used his underwater there off the wall and has really put a bit of distance between himself, but there's a battle hotting up for 3rd, but now starting to break away now.
Sam Glass from Wonderbass just easing into 3rd place, a clear 3rd. Might be challenging for 2nd. At the moment Cameron Travis has this one well under control. Jake Kirkham just has done enough to hold on to 2nd place, with Sam Glass in 3rd. So well controlled race there for Cameron.
Yeah, he split at 20 at the halfway point in 29. He's came back in about 32, so it's nice split, and you want to keep that 100, you want to keep it within 2 seconds. If you can keep it in there, you're swimming it well. It just showed, the biggest thing for me there was Cameron off the walls was much better than the rest of the field, and in backstroke it's your bread and butter. You have to be good at the underwaters. Not that it's overtaxing, but you're faster through the under the water than you are through the water, so if you can utilise them as much as you can, especially short course, then that's half the battle.
And another one of our finals that goes exactly to the seedings, 4-5-3. So once again it's medal presentation time. So Calvin MacDonald is a bronze medalist from Aberdeen Performance in the 11-13-year-old category, and also from that same neck of the woods from South Aberdeenshire, William Storer in the 14-year-old category. Silver medalists in the 11-13-year-old category from Elgin, Lucas Brown, and in the 14-year-old category from Wonderbass, Ewan Beattie. So the Scottish National Age Group Champion on the 11-13-year-old category in 2019 from East Lothian, Stefan Kravitz. And Scottish National Age Group Champion in the 14-year-old category, or Scottish Champion rather, from Kendal is Elliot Woodburn. And our 14-year-old National Champion, since Elliot is a non-Scot, that goes to Ewan Beattie from Wonderbass. So as we had in one of the backstroke events for the girls, one of our swimmers going away with 2 medals. Always a bonus, isn't it?
It is. It's a little bit, can be a little bit confusing if you're new to the sport. We're explaining that rule, but it's gives the opportunity to be national champion to the swimmer. So there has been cases where you could have somebody in third place that still receives a gold medal. I was in a race one time where I was actually fourth, and I was national champion because the 3 boys that beat me were non-Scots. So it's just that it means there's something to race for.
Yep. And Ross, it's still good that you do have that competition from swimmers out with your own country who come along, they push you, and you, even if you're only getting third place, it might be the difference between a PB or a non-PB, because you've got to put that a little bit extra effort.
Definitely, it's an unknown quantity if you're racing people you don't know. You can get a little bit relaxed if you same people, same faces. So it is good to change.
So on to our 16-year-olds. James Taylor from Aberdeen in lane 0. Thomas Coates, West Lothian 1. Keir Lumsden, Montefief in 2. Marcus Tambling from Hamilton Aquatics in 3. Mark Ford, City Glasgow 5. Jack Munsey, Perth City in 6. Owen McBurney, Dumfries in 7. Jamie Ferguson, Midlothian 8. Joshua Aspinall, Wanderbass in 8. And Adam Young, Dundee City Aquatics 9. Well, Mark Ford will be a strong fancy, although Jack Munsey in 5. Owen McBurney will certainly try and give him a run for his money, as will the lad from Hamilton Aquatics, Marcus Tambling. And certainly Mark Ford looked very impressive in the heats.
No, Mark's a swimmer I was thoroughly impressed with out in Geneva. His professionality for such a young boy is professionalism. Is more for seniors. As a senior swimmer, he treats every race like it's his final one. His preparation's incredible. So again, it looks like he's prepped well here and is leading from the start.
Probably fortunate he's got Craig McNally as an older teammate at City Glasgow to help and cajole him on. 28.06 at halfway.
No, it's a strong first 50 from Mark. It looks like it's but Jack's keeping him right on his toes, but it looks like Smart's all the way.
Mark Ford looking very strong indeed down the final stretch.
The one thing I like about Mark is his head position's in a really good place. It means his body and his hips are in line with it, and it just keeps him like a bow of a boat. And you can just see there from the shot, it's really strong at 57.97.
Second place. Oh, it's Jack Munsey, just over the minute. I'm sure Jack will be pleased with that time. 1:00:27. And Owen McBurney makes it a hat-trick for the 3 Scottish boys. Marcus Tambling finish a disappointing 8th in lane 3. We went out strongly in the heats, and the other lads maybe just did enough to qualify. Mark Ford, as we discussed earlier on, we did think he'd be pretty impressive in this one, and so it proved. There's Mark, big smile on his face. 57.97, well clear of the rest of the field.
That's the thing with finals. It's all about just having a lane at the end of the night. You could be in lane 10. You don't know what other people have done. You don't know what other people have put effort into to make that final. You've got to go in, stick to your process, stick to your plan, stick to what you know you do well, and ultimately the outcome, the result will happen. You've got to go to A and B before you get to C. That's the thing I say to the kids.
As you can see, handshakes all round for all these lads. As you were saying it earlier on, enemies in the pool, but best of friends out.
Yeah, you spend a lot of time with these guys are all involved in youth squad or YDS or DRP. So if you've been on the DRP programme at age 11 and you've come through with somebody, the likelihood when you're in youth squad that person's been with you for 5 years. It's a long-term thing. And getting a bit sentimental here, but most of my friends in my life now are from swimming. It's something you've got in common, and you've always got that.
So there we have it. Liam McLaughlin, Warnder in 1, in 0. Carol Barrett, Aberdeen Performance 2. Ian Rose, Warnder in 3, in 2. Conor Massey, City Glasgow 4. Keir Edgar first in 5. Ryan Robertson, City Glasgow 6. In 5 rather. Alexander Harris in 6 from Stirling Swim. Hearts, Finlay Saunders 7. Fraser Wilson, Warnder Bass in 8. And Callum Chittleborough, Warnder Bass in 9. Now Keir Edgar will be the hot fancy in 4 here, but either side on the City Glasgow lads. Conor Massey in 3, off to a pretty good start, although Keir just sheds it.
He didn't look like Ryan Robertson got a really good start there. I don't know if he slipped on the wedge or that, because he came up a little bit behind the boys, but he's done well to make up the ground.
Now Keir Edgar, 2022, 29.03 for Ryan Robertson. Alexander Harris, 20.98 from lane 6. Stirling swimmer going pretty well and challenging for one of those minor places, but this is Keir Edgar's race by some margin.
And again, just as what I picked up on a mark, his body position and head, it's all in one line. Sometimes you see people sitting in the water, but Keir's not doing that at all. 58.13, a little bit slower actually than the final before.
And Alexander Harris, 59.50. Well, Stirling lad will be chuffed a bit, spurring the two City Glasgow boys. Conor Massey having to settle for third place, 59.92, and Ryan Robertson, as you said, that start maybe just let him down, 1:00.05. But Alexander Harris looked pretty impressive in the final stages, coming through to challenge the leaders and take a well-deserved second place.
It's a thing, there's enough distance in a race in 100 metres for things to change. You've got to kind of take your opportunity when they come up, and it looks like he did that. I'd like to see it again. I don't know, it just didn't look like Ryan, I don't know if he didn't get his feet on the wedge. It's very noticeable. Unfortunately these things happen. Hopefully it was just a little mistake.
So presentations again. This is the 15 and 16 year olds. So Sam Glass, Warner Bass, our bronze medalist in the 15-year-old category. And in the 16-year-old category, it's Owen McBurney from Dumfries. Silver medalists, representing first, Jake Kirkham. And in the 6-year-old category, for Perth City, Jack Munsey. Sure we'll see Jack maybe in gold medal position on some freestyle events later on during the week. On to the Scottish National League Group Champion in the 15-year-old category from Aberdeen Performance, Cameron Travis. And our Scottish National League Group Champion in the 16-year-old category from City of Glasgow, Matt Ford.
Now that 57.9 from Mark, that's a really fantastic time for this part in the season. Again, Mark, I'm sure he'll be swimming in a couple of weeks' time at British Champs if he's got any of the times to qualify. I'm sure he has, but an excellent start to his meet. And I think the biggest thing it's important to be remembered, this is a 5-day meet. It's alright being great on night 1, but you've still got to be great on night 5, and that sometimes comes into play, so you've got to make sure that you're getting your swim down, your recovery processes. It comes down to how quick you can recover each time. That's what it really comes down to between making medals, making finals, and especially at the back end of the week.
So Conor Massey, our bronze medalist in the 17-18-year-old category. Silver medalists, Alexander Harris from Stirling Swim, and our Scottish National League Group Champion 2019 from first, Keir Edgar.
No, a really strong swim there from Keir. I think this is his last year at first. I think he's looking to go to university in the summer, so Andrew doing a great job with him. Obviously Andrew started there, worked under Monica, who's ran the programme for so many years, who recently retired, so it's great to see his first well represented.
Yes, this indeed is Keir's last year. I'm sure he's 200 backstroke. He'll fancy himself in that one. That's certainly a stronger of the three. That's also probably Ryan Robertson's strongest event, the 200. Conor Massey better on the 50. So that 50 backstroke could be an interesting one with Conor maybe trying to get a little bit nearer Keir. That comes up later in the week. So back to the girls, and we're on to 100 freestyle, Ross. Emma Leggett goes in 0 from South Lanarkshire. Lexi Anderson, Dumfries in 1. Ariana Stokes from Tynemouth in 2. 3, Alice Mackey from Heart of Midlothian. Kate Carruthers, Heart of Midlothian in 4. In 5 from Hamilton Aquatics, Niall Legarda. Jessica Dempster, West Lothian in 6. Sarah Hill, Aberdeen Dolphins 7. Heidi Wren, City Glasgow 8. And 9, Warner Bass, Ellie Creek Collins. Well, let's see how Niall Legarda in 5 goes from Hamilton Aquatics. Kate Carruthers, youngster from Hearts, was the fastest qualifier. She's off quite strongly in this one, Ross.
Yeah, there's quite a contrast actually with techniques in here. It looks like there's a little bit of fast rates, but Niall looks like showing a 200 here, more than 100.
Kate Carruthers almost a body length clear. The moment it's a Hearts 1-2. Alice Mackey kind of surprised me in the heats, qualifying in lane 3. Coming through very strongly, Jessica Dempster in 6. And she's certainly challenging that Hearts 1-2 at the moment.
Again, Hearts well represented in the girls' events. Katie just looks like it's her race here now, and that's all. Everyone else is just taking part.
Well, it is a 1-2 for Hearts. Well done for Katie. Kate Carruthers rather 101.57. Alice Mackey will go home with a massive smile on her face, taking a silver medal. 103.32 for the youngster. Jessica Dempster, who's having a very good meet today. 103.49.
It was actually
having had a 1500 earlier on as well. So what more can you say, Ross?
Oh, again, to come back, that's just that's tough. That's a great platform for the future of being able to cope with multiple swims. What I noticed there though is that was the first. We've had some 12-year-olds. It was well represented with the 12-year-olds in that final with Naya, Heidi and Ellie. So nice to see some girls that will be in this age group again next year. Probably looking to be up the front next time.
So on to our 14-year-olds. Anna Williamson, Ren 96, goes in 0. Jenna Cole, North Lanark in 1. Ellie Hamilton from First in 2. Elise Cousins from Hamilton, from Highland Swim Team in 3. Lisa Stoddart, East Lothian in 4. Drew McKenzie, West Lothian 5. Natasha Simpson, Warnder 6. Millie Milne, Warnder 7. Emma Maguire, Guildford City in 8. And Amelia Mardell, Ulverston in 9. Well, Lisa Stoddart very relaxed in the heats. Drew McKenzie though, don't know what you're going to get from Drew. She'll be certainly battling very, very strongly with West Lothian lass. And Ellie's cousins, Ellie Hamilton in 3 and 2, and Natasha Simpson in 6 will also be well there.
Just interesting to watch the first 25 metres of these girls and just where they're taking their first breaths. It's obviously very easy to go out that first bit and not take the breath, and ultimately you pay for it at the back end. It's really important you get into a breathing pattern on the 100 freestyle. Hopefully those girls will be well prepped for that.
Lisa Stoddart now just strikes the front. Well, Eloise Cousins from Highland Swim Team went out very strongly in that 1500. She's had to go out very strongly in this one, and finishing like a train in 7 is Holly Mill. This is anybody's race. Drew McKenzie flying at the death as well. Well, the camera's not giving us the greatest picture. On lane 7. Wow, what a swim from Millie Milne. Louisa Stoddart has to settle for second. She probably thought she'd won that in the middle lane, but Roy Milne 1:00:33.
Nearly a full second and a half improvement there from Millie from this morning. It's really strong. You could see at the 50 she was in amongst the pack and she just took her chance and went ahead. And that's the thing as well, you've got to be aware of your surroundings when you're swimming. It's of course you want to be totally focused on what you're doing, but you've got to be aware. This is a 10 lane pool. If you're in lane 5, you've got to be at both sides what's going on. And I don't think anybody really saw Millie out there in lane 7, and she didn't mind. She just saw the gap and went for it.
Well, sorry Millie, we mentioned lanes 2 through to 6, thinking those were the likely ones to come through. But you did the business, and your national champion for the 14-year-olds. Well done from Millie from Warner Bass. So on to our 15-year-olds. Jenna McLean from Highland Swim Team in 0. Neza Dollins-Lusner from Finns in 1. Kira Sterica, South Ayrshire in 2. Olivia Mason, Warner Bass in 3. That's another one that's had a 1500 today. Katie Shannon, City Glasgow in 4. Lucy Grieve, South Ayrshire 5. Natalie Jones, Warner Bass 6. Lucy Headley, Tynemouth in 7. Anna Schlesser, Aberdeen Performance in 8. And Ellis McQueenie, City Glasgow 9. Katie Shannon, the only one sub a minute, 59.67. Lucy Grieve and that other blue cap, South Ayrshire, off to a good start as well.
Yeah, this will be a good race. Lucy's a really good sprint swimmer, really coming through. Byron again, a great coach, doing an excellent job in South Ayrshire. Really admired the work he did there when I was at North Ayrshire. And it looks like Lucy's going to just be going in with Katie at the turn here.
Well, not much between the two. 28.36, 28.41. Olivia Mason from Warner Bass. Girls come from virtually nowhere a year and a half, 2 years ago, and very good freestyler now, and she might get a medal here, but this is a tight one. Katie Shanahan, Lucy Grieve, very little between the two. Lucy Grieve just dropping back a fraction, and she'll have to settle for second. Katie Shannon just doing enough to take that.
Wow, it's closer than I expected actually.
It was 50-30, 50-46. It looked bigger, but I think just Katie Shanahan doing just enough to hold on. And Olivia Mason, cracking swim from her, 59.35. First time that I'm sure she's been under a minute, and well under the minute at that. 59.35 for Olivia.
To have 3 girls in there going sub 60 is strong. It's a good signs. 58s are excellent, 59's good as well, so really good final that.
So I think it's back to medal presentations here. The 13 and 14 year olds coming back to poolside. So our 11, 13 year old bronze medalist from West Lothian is Jessica Dempster. Colin Kennedy doing the presentations for us, and our 14-year-old bronze medalist from a Highland Swim Team. She'll be pleased to get a podium position after a grueling 1500 Eloise Cousins in 3rd place. And our 11, 13-year-old silver medalist from Heart of Midlothian, Alice Mackey. And in the 14-year-old category, from East Lothian, Lisa Stoddart. Our Scottish National Age Group champion in the 11, 13-year-old category from Heart of Midlothian, Kate Carruthers. And in our 14-year-old category, the Scottish National Age Group champion from Warner Baths, Millie Milne. I don't think she can believe it, Ross.
No, I don't think she can herself. I don't know quite realise what she's done, but fantastic. It's just great to see someone that in those outside lanes taking their opportunity. You've got the same water as everybody else, so there's no excuse to not be up there on the medals.
And sometimes it's nice to get a wee surprise now and again. You know, I don't think many people would have expected Millie, other than maybe Costas in the team.
Costas puts his cards pretty close to his chest. You won't get much out of that, man. This is the final I've been looking forward to.
This will be a cracker. So over in lane 0, Alicia Bain, Aberdeen Performance. In 1, Ellie Riley, Heart of Midlothian. In 2, from Hamilton Aquatics, Victoria Bergelli. In lane 3, also from Hamilton Aquatics, another Scot, Rosie Morgan. In 4, from Heart of Midlothian, Emma Russell. In 5, Katie Goodburn, Warner Baths. B. Varley from Hamilton Aquatics. In 6, Jane Murray from your old team, North Ayrshire, goes in 7. She likes to be known as Jen, doesn't she? Rather
She
than
does,
Jennifer.
yeah, it's Jen.
And Anna Morgan from Hamilton Aquatics in 8. Eve Corrigan, Wonderbass in 9. Now, Jen Murray, I'm sure would love to do a 400 rather than 100, but she'll be pleased to be in the final.
She's that girl will race anything and put 100% into it. She's a great role model for the younger kids at North Ayrshire. But I think the race in here is going to be in those middle 4 lanes between Emma, Katie, Rosie and Victoria. Victoria is actually a Norwegian swimmer. She's qualified for European Juniors already to represent Norway. But yeah, it looks like straight from the off it's those 4 girls.
You can see just slightly different styles of strokes, how relaxed and it's the slightly slower stroke from Emma in lane 4. Gets that so much power.
She's such a rangy swimmer, Emma. She's a lovely catch point. She just holds so much water and pulls it back.
Katie Goodburn gives it everything in the final 15, and this is where the race is coming. Emma Russell from Hearts, Katie Goodburn, Wonderbass. It's Hearts and Wander, Russell and Goodburn, and that's how it's going to finish, Ross. Emma Russell 56.98. What a swim. Also Katie Goodburn 57.84. Well, we do expect a cracker, and we got one. Rosie Morgan 58.23. B. Varley 58.97, and Eve Corrigan from that outside lane 59.88. That's a cracking swim from that.
Again, 4 girls there sub 60. 5 girls, sorry, sub 60 again, but 56.98. That's creeping into senior swimming those kind of times from Emma. She's a highly impressive girl. I said I've got to work with her quite closely in Geneva and was thoroughly impressed by her.
Well, Phil Potter will be doing somersaults. I think that's about 4 gold medals the girls have brought home, and we're barely halfway through the evening.
Great start for the first day 1, and we're only in event 3.
And there we have a University of Edinburgh swimmer. We'll introduce her in a wee minute. In lane 0, Gemma McLeod from Dumfries. Serena Iguanam's back again in lane 1, City Glasgow. Kirsten Laurie now swimming with you over at Edinburgh University in lane 2. Maria Rooney from Hamilton Aquatics in 3. Emma Peck, also Hamilton Aquatics in 4. Katie Robertson, South Ayrshire 5. Yasmin Perry, University Aberdeen Performance in 6. Lucy Ross, South Lanarkshire 7. Rebecca Reid, Aberdeen Amateurs in 8. And Erica Chopek, Heart of Midlothian in 9. Well, Katie Robertson, can she get this one in 5, or will it be Emily Peck from Hamilton Aquatics in 4 that will prevail? I did think that Katie Robertson looked very relaxed in the heats, and she's got a lot of work to do in this one, but she's going pretty well, Ross.
Yeah, it's not often you get someone that can double up as well in freestyle as our breaststroke Katie. She's a prospect for the future, but Emily here is a 100 swimmer. This is her main event. Actually someone that's looking to potentially attend Edinburgh University in the summer, so looking with a bit of a close eye on this one. But Emily's turned there out in 27.0, so that's a really strong start.
Katie Robertson in 2nd place, and she may well have to settle for 2nd. Emily's still going pretty strongly, Ross.
But Katie's now starting to just hold that length a bit more, but I think Emily's done enough the first 75 metres to hold her off. But Maria Rooney making a real strong finish here. 56.96.
Well, it didn't look fast, but 56.96, 57.16 for Katie Robertson. A cracking swim from her. And Maria Rooney, 57.79 in 3rd place. And not a bad swim from Kirsten Laurie, taking 7th, 1:00.49.
Strong swim from the middle girls. Was lucky to work with Maria from when she was 10 years old, and it's great to see her. It's 18 now, 17, 18. Swimming, she was one of those kids that was just in the pack. She was there and never really got her moment, and it's now she's stuck with it. She's stuck to her principles, and she's now 57, which is an excellent time to be at now. But Emily 56, I know that's about a second and about half a second PB for her, so that's a strong swim, and that's those times starting to move into senior swimming.
Yeah. So presentations again. Only finishing 7th at the British Championship, so should we want to improve on that performance now, Ross? Just build on that, as you say.
Well, speaking to our coach Ash Morris, who's actually in Ireland just now with some other swimmers, the Irish nationals, who's coming over on Friday. This is the focus for Emily. They're swimming this meet, and Maria, they're swimming this meet, and then they're going to the Manchester meet, and they're kind of doing a double up. But this is our focus. They've put a lot of effort into this part of the cycle to look to put times towards British Summer Champs, which are here obviously in Glasgow this year, which is a nice change.
So on to medals here. Our bronze medalists in the 100 freestyle, the 15-year-olds, Olivia Mason, and in the 16-year-olds, Rosie Morgan. Our silver medalist, Lucy Grieve and Katie Goodburn, on the left-hand side of your picture, and our Scottish National Age Group champion from the city of Glasgow is Katie Shanahan in that 15-year-old category, and in the 16-year-old age group, Scottish National Age Group champion from Heart of Midlothian is Emma Russell.
No, a lot of talent on that podium there tonight. That's third place to first place. You couldn't really split them, and posting times that are potential finals in the summer, British Summer Champs.
Well, they're both the gold and silver medalists on that podium, youth squad members, so very talented youngsters.
No, it's excellent to see. As I said, it's the word that I used earlier is depth. It's more people. It's not just one person doing a time now. It's multiple people, and it just adds for competition. It just adds for better swimming. It raises everybody up. You know, the rising tide raises all ships.
So Maria Rooney up in aquatics.
Maria actually an Italian national, so she'll be looking to post some times for Italian nationals in the summer. Again, another swimmer that's actually is coming next week to Edinburgh for a little tour, so potentially could be swimming in Scotland a lot more often.
Katie Robertson, the silver medalist from South Ayrshire, and national champion Emily Peck from Hamilton Aquatics, a Scottish champion, but the Scottish national champion. Again, another swimmer getting another medal, Katie Robertson from South Ayrshire. Very modest girl, Katie. You know, she just gets on with it. Very supportive of her teammates and all the squads that she's in. She's really great kid to work with. It's
great to have a swimmer of such high standard at a club in Scotland. At any club, it's an inspiration. It's a role model. It's somebody you can use at your club to get other kids to invest in, and it's if you've got somebody like that, it can really help just the whole greater good of the club. It's just nice to see. Obviously, we've got the performance centres here in Scotland, but it's nice to see that the club still has a purpose. It still has a place, and we are very grateful and very reliant on the clubs to produce these swimmers. It's a big shout out to the hours that some of these coaches do voluntarily. Some are lucky to be paid for it. If it wasn't for them, the performance centres wouldn't work.
So on to the boys now. It's breaststroke. In lane 0. This is the 11, 13-year-olds. It's all 13-year-olds in this one, and I've qualified. Alex Scott from Dumfries in 0. Fraser McIntosh, South Lanarkshire in 1. Alfie Maguire, City of Sunderland in 2. Oscar Bilbao, Hamilton Aquatics in 3. Callum Melville, Grantham in 4. Stephen Kravitz, East Lothian Swim Team 5. Matthew McMillan, Carnegie 6. Cameron Mitchell are both St Thomas in 7. Magnus Bullock from Delting in 8. Guy Pelosi from Kingston in 9. Callum Melville 2:37.19. That was very impressive in the heats. Stephen Kravitz, I'm not sure whether Stephen was too worried about beating him in the heats. He's doing enough probably to qualify, so we'll see how this one goes, Ross.
Yeah, just early start of the race, just some contrasting styles. We've got some swimmers some with a little higher rate, some with a little bit longer rate. I always think in the 200, the length you can hold in the first 100 always bodes you well. Just at the back end, it's a very leg dominant stroke, breaststroke, especially 200. You've got to conserve that energy. You've got to really make it as economical and efficient as possible.
So at this early stage, Stephen Kravitz about a body length back.
Keeping my eye on lane 3, Oscar from Hamilton Aquatics here. Was told by his coach earlier, has just come through this year and got a lot more to offer in this final. He said that he felt he had a bit to drop tonight, and he's right in the pack.
Just over a body length advantage at the moment, 1:15.47, 1:16.95 for Oscar and Stefan 1:17.12. At the moment, Calum going very strongly indeed.
Yeah, it looks like he's putting a little bit of distance between himself and the battling pack behind, but I really like the way Calum holds that front point of his stroke. He just keeps that there, and he takes the stroke when he wants to take it, not when he needs to take it.
Second at the summer meet, and he's actually, although he swims down in Grantham, which I think is Lincolnshire, he's actually a Scottish national representative, so if he prevails, he goes away as Scottish national champion. And as you say, Oscar is going pretty well in second. Stefan Kravitz looks as though he's just going to have to settle for third and worry about the butterfly coming up later on.
Yeah, I'm sure one eye's slightly focused on that 55, that record's up for grabs, but again, really great swim here from Calum in the middle lane. Oscar's doing well to really try and keep the pressure, and he's actually started to make a little bit of ground in the last 50, but I think it's just going to run out of pool.
Of course, one of the key things about Scottish National, the way the points, as you know, are scored, you can compete in, say, 3 finals this evening, and doesn't matter if you win all 3, you don't get 13 points times 3, you get 13 points. It's your highest scoring on the day. So Stefan Kravitz for finishing in third place. Not quite sure whether Oscar would actually get any points for that, but on the basis that he finished third, he gets 9 points for third place. I think it is 13, 11, 9 and 7, 6, 5 right down to 1. So
I think also with the rule is that if you have swimmers, for instance, I know Rosie Morgan, who swims for Hamilton here, but her home representation club is Aberdeen Unit Performance. I know that when she swims for them, her points don't count because she doesn't train within the country. So there could be swimmers in here that are swimming for representing a club but do not train here, so their points do not get added up to the final.
So certainly Stefan Kravitz might, as top Scot, actually get maximum points for that one, but he'll be more concerned about the butterfly, which we'll bring to you later on, Ross.
Yeah.
That's another one to look forward to. So on to our 14-year-old breaststroke final. Robert Stewart from City Glasgow in 0, Robert Burgess, West Lothian in 1, Ryan King, Glen Rothis in 2, Matthew Hand from Ards in lane 3, Douglas Calder from First in 4, Elliot Woodburn, Kendall in 5. In 6, James Keane, Swim West Lothian, Owen Ray, Wonderbath 7, Travis Davey, Dundee City Aquatics in 8, David Kernahan, Wonderbaths in 9. Well, Douglas Calder last season was a bit under the weather, and recently he's just getting himself back to the sort of standard that he sort of promised as a 12-year-old, and he looked very good this afternoon in the heats. Let's hope that he didn't take too much out of himself and he's got plenty in reserve for this evening. At the moment, a good start in lane 5 by Elliot, and also over in lane 3 Matthew Hand.
No, a strong start from Elliot there from Kendall, another representative from down south, so we'll see where he finishes. The Scottish boys maybe come second and still be home champion, but strong pull out there from Elliot. I was watching that before he even started the pull out phase. He was at 5 metres, which is really good skills to have. The tendency at a younger age, you just kind of rush it, get through it. He looked like he really enjoyed that and was using it to his advantage and put a bit of distance between himself and the boys.
Certainly Douglas Calder will come through strongly in the second half of the race. He's better over a longer distance. There's not a lot of them.
And in 200 breaststroke, the race, the layout of the race can change so much. You can see people at the first 100 be first and can come fourth. It's a very tactile race.
James Keane Big brother John's a very good breaststroker. Was British champion a few years, his older brother. And again, seems to run in the family.
Yeah, it's been a theme tonight. We've had John and James. John's actually in the final in about 2 heats time. With the two Morgan sisters. We've had the Shields. Must be something in families.
At the moment, nobody's got any answer yet to what Elliot's producing. Douglas Calder now beginning, as I mentioned, in the second half of the race, just beginning to get himself into the picture. He's got a bit to do, but he's still got plenty of time, just over 50 metres to go.
And again there, Elliot, last turn, pull out took him to about 8 metres, which is, if you can utilise that. The other boys rushed it a little bit, just getting through it, but again, second place is hotting up.
Matthew Hunt had a good turn there, winner at the Dave McCulloch meet, and the battle might just be for second place now. I know there's still another 15 metres to go, but I think they're going to run out of water here. Elliot Woodburn, as you can see, coming through. Looks as though Douglas is going to have to settle for third, but we'll wait and see. It's very tight for that second place. Elliot 2:23.96. That's much faster than his entry time coming into the meet, and also much faster than he was. Douglas Calder 2:34.28 this afternoon, 2:34.71, almost the same time, having to settle for third. If he'd just done that, he'd have got second place, but it's what you're doing in the pool, and it's a totally different event this evening as to what it was this afternoon.
It's the difference between a heat and the final is huge. It's the first thing you've got to do is do. My point of view is you've all got to do what you need to do first. The only thing is get faster than you do in the morning. If you can do that, then the outcome will happen, whatever. That's your first and foremost job. It's keeping that simple thing of just being able to go faster, and it's also a great skill to have. You know, as you get further and further up with senior swimming, you have to be fast in the morning, you have to be faster at night, and then you have to be even faster again in the final. So it's just good practice for the future.
So on to our 15-year-old final. In lane 0 we have Murray Pritchard from Perth City, Ben Galloway, City Glasgow in 1, Jamie Littlefield, Wander Balls in 2, Leon Campbell, Stirling Swim goes in lane number 3, Matthew Garrity, Inverclyde in 4, Yusuf El Dori from Hamilton Aquatics in 5, Liam Murphy in 1st, goes in 6, Archie Dixon, City Glasgow 7, Sam Harrison, Carnegie in 8, and Tony Anderson, City Glasgow in 9. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing Matthew Garrity, local swimmer from Inverclyde, going in 4. Got plenty knowledge on how to swim these races, and it'll be interesting. He's got a good challenge in lane 5 from the Hamilton Aquatics swimmer, Yusuf El Dori.
I'd expect Yusuf to go out pretty fast here. He went out very fast this morning, kind of paid for it in the last 50. But Matthew, again, at a young age, lots of experience in this event. I'm between watching him and watching his coach Shirley Redford, because normally she's quite a watch in these races. She's always biting her nails or shouting. It's actually more entertaining sometimes to watch her than it is Matthew. But yes, as I said, Yusuf out strong the first 50. Had this tactic this morning, it didn't quite work for him, but we'll see if it changes tonight.
It's interesting tactics. Liam Murphy, stablemate of Douglas Calder, they both swim at Bowness under that first banner. He's going very well. Liam has really come on leaps and bounds this last year and a half, and holding a good second. Matthew Garrity with a wee bit to do, but the race is barely halfway through yet.
No, Matthew's right in a good place. I think I wouldn't be too concerned. I think he will come through that second half of the race, but Yusuf is clear leader here.
1:11.35, 36 rather, and Matthew Garrity 2 seconds further back in third, with Liam Murphy 1:12.71.
Liam Murphy still here holding off Matthew. Just wondering here if Yusuf has done a lot of that first 100 just to put a bit of distance between him and the two boys.
Well, this is where the race is going to get very interesting with about 65-70 metres to go.
And it's closing. It looks like the two boys are making gains on Yusuf, with Liam really taking it here.
Yeah, Liam Murphy's going really well in lane 6.
My money's on
Matthew Garrity now getting the bit between his teeth. He's into second. I love, look at that turn there, Ross. What a superb. Well, here comes Matthew Garrity. Shirley, just relax, please. He's getting there. Don't worry about it. He's moving into the lead. Liam, just keep working away, son. Your medal without any problem. But Matthew Garrity, well, Shirley, I'm sure you're absolutely delighted with how he's swimming now. He's going further and further away. Liam Murphy might get up to get second. Matthew Garrity takes this. Liam Murphy, will he get a second place? Well, it's very tight. Wow. Matthew Garrity, 2:28.24. Liam Murphy, I'm sure he'll be absolutely chuffed to bits with that second. 2:32.08, 2:32.15. It was really on that touch there for that second place, Ross. But
yeah. Again, we spoke about it. Yusuf this morning went out strong and wasn't able to hold on, but Matthew, for such a young lad, he knows how to race that event. He knows where he needs to be. He knows he's in the pack. He's such a mature racer for such a young boy. Just comparing that event last 2 years ago, just from experience, that was 1 in 2:29 2 years ago by John Keane, with Rory Dixon just behind in 2:29 in Aberdeen. So Matthew's now a second ahead of those two boys, who have both went on to have success at British Championships in that event. John winning it, as you said, but both boys have made national finals. So for Matthew, he's on a good path. Again, it's just a fantastic swim on. A really nice little lad to boot. I've had real pleasure being in his company, being so close with Inverclyde when I was at North Ayrshire. So again, another prospect. Breaststroke swimming in Scotland, what can you say?
Yep. So there we have Stefan Kravitz from East Lothian in that white top, and in the blue top Douglas Calder from first, bronze medalists in 11, 13 and 14-year-old age group respectively, and silver medalist in the 11-13 Oscar Bilbao from Hamilton Aquatics, and Matthew Hand from Ards, and our Scottish national age group champion. We can say that from all the way from Grantham is Callum Melville, and our Scottish champion from Kendal is Elliot Woodburn. And third place, Douglas Calder gets a double whammy. He gets the national title. Well done for Douglas. It's, as we were talking earlier, other two lads non-Scots. So you finish third, or as you've said before, you can even finish fourth or fifth and you're still Scottish national champion, depending on what's happened in front of you. So moving up another age group, our 16-year-olds. Another fascinating one. Ryan Duncan, Arbroath St Thomas in lane 0, Cameron Allison, Dumfries in 1, Daniel Saunders, Wonderbaths in 2, Nathan Grimley, Swim West Lothian in 3, Tommaso Servini from Hamilton Aquatics in 4, Angus Allison, Wonderbaths 5, Finlay Wallace, Arbroath St Thomas 6, Alistair Peterson, Wonderbaths in 7, Lewis Thompson, Midlothian in 8, Samuel Chittleborough from Wonderbaths goes in lane 9. This is our 16-year-old breaststroke final.
Yeah, I think this will be Tommaso's race. This again, pleasure with working with Tommaso at a young age when I was out in Dubai. It's great to see him. He's an Italian national as well. We used to say he was the most stylish man on poolside. He used to come in with designer backpacks and stuff like that. He's a character. From a Scottish point of view, you would fancy
your squad member Angus Allison now having moved from Inverleith to Wander Baths, where his big brother has been swimming for a number of years very successfully. Pretty level start in the middle lanes. Angus is probably his breaststroke is the strongest of these 4 disciplines.
Yeah, I think Angus is a good freestyler as well. I really like his IM. I think his IM's got 4 good strokes that he puts well together. Just by looking at the race there, actually, I was just counting the 2 boys' strokes to 25, and they were both 5 to 25. I always like to look at the counts for the first 25 and then the overall count. I think it just shows efficiency. And also I like to just look at how long they're under the water for between each stroke. If they can stay under a second and that each on the first 100, that's a really good sign of efficiency and how they're working the stroke. And you can see these 2 boys here are squeezing the life out of everything. Tommaso maybe just a little bit longer, but nothing between it.
Angus Allison, national champion in this event last year, 5th at the British Championships.
There's a battle for 3rd place here with Finlay Wallace and Nathan Grimley, so competition to be had there.
Well, Nathan Grimley in that white cap, swim West Lothian from Falthouse Penguins. So that's my old club, Ross. That's where I started many years ago, officiating and getting the bug, and that was a long time ago.
It's a great club with some great history. Ian Prentice, I fondly remember him and his son. It was always a real hotbed of talent. But this is going to be a strong last 50 here. I think Angus is a bit more ratey here, so we'll see if Angus, and he looks like he's picked the rate up that last 50. We'll see if Tomo can respond.
Angus Allison now getting the bit between his teeth, and he's struck the front, and it looks as though he's really been very efficient down the second 100. Still almost swimming exactly the same as he was that first 100. Kept that stroke going, same rhythm. And Nathan Grimley, well done now Nathan, 3rd place, 2:29.63. Well, they'll be putting a wee toast out for you up at Falthouse tonight with that swim. Well done, son.
Again, Angus, they're really strong, and the biggest thing that you had to see there was when he came off that last wall, he built his rate. That is so important. You've got to have a different gear. You are tired and you are fatiguing through the race, and how you kind of go over that is by increasing your rate without slipping. That's a real skill in breaststroke. It's very easy to pick the rate up, but you can slip at the front. That's just where your hands are sliding out. I refer to it as conductor arms. You see the conductor at the front of the orchestra, they slide out. Sometimes that can happen, and you've got to just keep that press of the elbows. If you can do that, then you'll have a future on this stroke.
So we move on to our 17-18-year-old final. One of your prodigies in lane 0, very talented Rory Dixon from North Ayrshire goes in 0. Thomas Cannon, Inverclyde in 1. In lane 2 from Hamilton Aquatics, Richard Koshkayev. Koshkaya, thank you. Greg Fairbairn, North Lanarkshire in 3. That's why you're here, Ross. 5 in lane 4 rather, Max Hagan, City Glasgow. Andrew McIntosh, Edinburgh University in 5. Archie Goodburn, Wander Baths in 6. Daniel Ferguson, West Lothian in 7. John Keane, West Lothian in 8. John Houston, South Ayrshire in 9. There's some cracking breaststrokers in this one.
Yeah, this is the depth in this final is incredible. You've got, by my count, 7 British national finalists in this event.
Andrew McIntosh and Archie Goodburn used to have fantastic scraps a few years back, and although he's now at university, Andrew McIntosh is just beginning to get hopefully back to where he was. He's gone a little bit off the boil last year, but coming through strongly again. But Goodburn's off to a cracker.
Yeah, strong start there from Archie, which I'd expect he's a strong 50 breaststroker, strong 100 breaststroker. Andrew's coming back from it. He suffered a really nasty leg break last year, so it's been really just part of building him back up this year and trying to get him competitive back in this stroke. But Andrew more of a 200 swimmer, so we'll see how he comes through.
Match out at 30.4. So he's best part of 1.7 ahead. Andrew McIntosh going quite nicely in second place.
Yeah, this race over here, I wouldn't count out Greg Fairbairn as well, a really talented swimmer. He's only 17 as well, so he's the younger end of this double band age group. Rory Dixon out there in lane 0 as well, up in the pack. So again a race with a lot of depth in it.
Yeah, both Rory and Greg have a lot of battles at district level. And, same is also true at nationals. And here comes Andrew McIntosh, as you say, in the second half of the race. And this will be good for Archie, because not many people get close to Archie Goodburn these days.
Yeah, again, Andrew, as I said, I work with Andrew personally. He's my swimmer at Edinburgh University, and this was part of the plan. Can we hold off that third 50? And it's going to really be a battle here.
Point 143.18, 143.20, and McIntosh has actually taken it up. Well, has Goodburn got anything in reserve? Archie Goodburn with a lot to do here, Ross. Your man looks good. Andrew McIntosh just forging clear.
Yeah, he's swam this really well, Andrew, and it's important. This is part of Andrew's training phase this week. It's we're here to race, and that's it. This is part of his training. It's a strong swim, and
Max Hagan could even get up to get second place. Whoa, this is a tight one. It was indeed. Max Hagan from absolutely nowhere was flying at the death, snatching second place. Well, 2:19.79. That is some swim from Andrew McIntosh. Max Hagan 2:22.03. Another swimmer who a few years ago was flying, and it's only the last 6-9 months that Max is getting back to probably the level that he would hope to get to.
And that's the thing at age group swimming. It's an up and down. It's not success is not linear. It's up, down, left, right, and it's being consistent there. And it's one of these things. I had a swimmer previously last year that spoke to me about how he'd come second 3 years in a row in one particular event, and I said to him, "Well, does that disappoint you?" And he was like, "Yeah, I've not won." I said, "Well, every year it's been someone different that's won it. So you've been consistent, and it's changed the winner." I would always take that as a positive rather than a negative. And it's great to see these kids. It's training hard and wanting it sometimes not enough. Sometimes you need to take a little step backwards and reevaluate what you can do and see if you can move forward, and that's part of it. That's what makes you an athlete. If you want guarantees, buy a dishwasher or a washing machine, because they're not for sport.
So our medalist, bronze medalist Yusuf El Duri from Hamilton Aquatics in the 50-year-old category, 60-year-old category. Nathan Grimley, swim West Lothian. Graham Murphy just been presented with a silver medal in that 50-year-old category, and Tommaso Servini, Hamilton Aquatics, silver medalist in the 60-year-old category. Well, Matthew Garrity, Inverclyde, Scottish National Age Group Champion, and in the 60-year-old category, Angus Allison from Warner Baths.
And again, these events are moving on, and just comparisons to years before, that 2:25 for Angus is faster than what it was won in last. It actually is a little bit slower than what it was won in last year. Greg had a really phenomenal swim here last year, went 2:24 if I remember right. But again, he'll be in that double band age group next year, looking a bit far ahead. But again, I'm looking at the competition for next year. It's always moving forward. I think as well, to say for Max, it was an incredible improvement this morning for Max, and it was a 5-second PB this morning. To then back that up again tonight, that's a lot to be said for that. It's a bit of character.
So Archie Goodburn, as you can see, bronze medalist in that 17-18-year-old category. Max Hagan from the city of Glasgow takes the silver. And it's very unusual to see Scottish National Age Group champion representing Edinburgh University. It doesn't happen very often at age 18, but there we have it. Andrew McIntosh.
No, it's actually quite a good story. Myself and Andrew, I actually coached Andrew in Dubai. He was a swimmer at Hamilton Aquatics. His father works as an engineer, so he works out there. And I had him at 12 years old, and he actually played rugby. And he was 9 times out of 10 put with me because he plays rugby. He's not into swimming. We put a bit of time into him. He was moving back to Scotland. I introduced him to Andy Figgins, East Kilbride, and Andy's done a fantastic job, really put some real foundations in, and now he's at Edinburgh University, and he's an intelligent kid to boot. He's studying engineering himself, so it's an academic as well as an athlete.
So at the other end of the pool, it's going to be fast and furious. It's 50 breaststroke, so we kick off with 11 to 13 year olds, a few 12 year olds in this one. So in lane 0, Isabella Thompson, Tiger Sharks. In lane 1, Nellie Stewart from Wonderbass. Ellen McPhee, City Glasgow in 2. Darcy Littlefield, Wonderbass is in 3. Chloe Bowen, Minehead 4, Lucy Stoves, Dundee City Aquatics 5, Isla MacDonald, Highland Swim Team 6, Sarah Hill, Aberdeen Dolphins 7, Amy McLeod, Kingston 8, Rebecca Cole, South Lanarkshire in 9. Strong start in lane 7, Sarah Hill, off the blocks very well, Aberdeen Dolphin swimmer. But, very level at the moment, Ross.
Yeah, looks like just Darcy Littlefield maybe there just got a slight edge, but Chloe Brown's now starting to pull in.
Indeed, Chloe Brown in lane 4, just ahead of Darcy Littlefield, also coming through Ellen MacDonald in lane 6. It looks as though lane 4 is going to take this.
Darcy's coming through strong.
Also lane 3, Ellen McPhee flying at the death. Well, Chloe Brown, 35.80 takes it.
We have joint second.
And joint second, Ellen McPhee, who won the Scottish Schools, 12-year-old in her home pool, and Darcy Littlefield, 36.13.
Strong finish from Ellen McPhee there on that last 5 metres there. Very interesting to see how she swims in the 100. It looks maybe one of those swimmers that just got warmed up there in that last 10 metres. We'll see how that progresses later in the week in the 100.
Ellen McPhee actually broke the schools record in this pool a month or so back. So she's only 12.
It's always a good indicator, Scottish schools. It's so early in the season. It's always good to see them swimming fast in January and so you can back up in March.
So on to our 14-year-olds. It's lane 0, Nuala Gow, Geary. Susan Orr, Renfrew Baths is in 1. Ciara Davidson, Mulgai and Bearsden 2. Fern Crichton, Perth City 3. Sophie Bain, Aberdeen Performance in 4. Kirsty Wicklow, M&B is in 5. Catriona Stewart, West D in 6. Martha Reeves, Dundee City Aquatics 7. Amelia Ardell, Ulverston in 8. Naomi Maguire, Guildford City in 9. Well, this could come probably from anywhere. Sophie Bain looked pretty good in the heats earlier on, 35.44. It'll be pretty good competition. Susan Orr, even in lane 1, Renfrew Baths has been swimming pretty well at districts. So let's see how this one goes. And a good start in lane 2. Ciara Davidson from M&B, and also in lane number 6, Catriona Stewart. Well there along with Kirsty Wicklow. Kirsty Wicklow perhaps, and Ciara Davidson, the 2 M&B girls to the 4.
I really like the way Ciara's swimming here. She's got a real nice hip drive. It's a real sprint breaststroke here, and she's looks like she's got a bit of distance between her and the other girls.
It's an M&B victory here in lane 2. Ciara Davidson 34.87. Sophie Bain, late charge, comes through to take second, 35.29. Hula going that outside lane 35-45. Well, we did say it could come from it virtually anywhere, and it did. 2-4 and 0.
Yeah, it's a very peculiar event. 50 breaststroke. You can see from the contrast of just watching the boys there. It's two different strokes. It's very difficult sometimes to coach. You kind of find you're either a 50 sprint breaststroke or 100, and you're a 200 guys. It's very hard to meet. And one of our most successful swimmers, Michael Jamieson, and obviously the Olympic success in 2012. His fastest 100 was only about 59.8, which in the world scale is not that. It's good, but it's not in the world top 8. But world number 2 in London, so it's a contrast. It's very difficult to find a balance between the two.
So our 15-year-old final has Jessica Schultz from a Highland Swim team in 0, Kira Sterica, South Ayrshire in 1, Katie Shanahan, City Glasgow 2, Anna de Grossa from Best in 3, Amy Watson, Inverclyde in 4, Yasmin Ali, Wonderbath 5, Ella Walker, West D in 6, Sophie Houle, Wonderbath 7, Molly Cannon, Inverclyde in 8, Cara Johnson, Wonderbath in 9. Well, 2 Inverclyde breaststrokers in this one, Ross. It doesn't often happen that you get one of our smaller clubs, not that they're a small club, but they're not the biggest club in the world, producing 2 finalists. So let's see if Amy Watson can prevail as our 50-year-old counterpart did earlier on. Good start in lane 5, Yasmin Ali. But also well there is Amy Watson in 4. Katie Shanahan in 2. It's those two who have, I think, got it. Katie Shanahan in 2 going really well, Ross.
Yeah, she is. And Amy's got a bit of a race on her hands here, but I think Amy's now edging ahead. And in lane Kira Sterica from South Ayrshire in lane 1 on Katie, and it looks like Kira's actually going to take a 3rd place here.
It's a good call, Ross. Yeah, Amy Watson, 33-36. That's bang on what she did in the heats. So good to see her replicate that. Katie Shanahan, 33-71. Just a smidgen slower than she was, and Kira Sterica, well, South Ayrshire will be buzzing with that one.
Yeah, I can see Byron. He's sitting there acting all cool, but he must be absolutely buzzing inside. Great to see, and you know that's that what we were speaking about earlier. Outside in lane 1, were people looking at her? Probably not. But she did her own thing. She raced her own plan, and she's now got herself a medal. And I'd go to say that's probably her first Scottish National Age Groups medal. So fantastic to see that, and I'm sure when we see her on the medal podium, there'll be a smile from ear to ear. Yeah,
I'm sure there will be. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That I'm pretty certain is Kira's first national medal. Might not be our last one.
No. Oh, there's a big hug from Dad, so that's lovely to see there.
Yeah.
He must be.
Yeah. It's out of our camera shot, but yeah, Byron absolutely chuffed to bits.
And that's the thing, the girls in those finals, to step up and go faster in a 50 final it's a really difficult task. It's you like to think that everyone's giving their 100% in the morning to get back, and they're probably maybe PB to get back. To then go and make that adaptation and change it, it's so difficult in the 50. You've not got a lot of place you can make improvements. A start, maybe a pull out, but to drop another couple of points, it's maybe only 0.2, but on a 50 that's huge.
So there's our 13-year-old medalist, Ella McPhee from City Glasgow, and Darcy Field.
And obviously with the 2 girls coming joint second, that means there's no 3rd medal.
No. And Chloe Brown, Minehead, our national champion. Kira Davison, the Scottish National Age Group champion in that 14-year-old age group.
It's great to see, and again, talking about a club again in the area, Mulgai and Bears Den, they're just always producing kids. Adam's doing a fantastic job there, and every year there's someone else or someone new. It's great to see. It's really promising.
Sophie Bain, bronze medalist, silver medalist in that, and Nuala Gow from Geary getting the bronze. So on to the 16-year-olds. Another interesting contest, probably in the middle lanes here, but no guarantee that's going to happen. Mary Wood, the Highland Swim team in 0, Iona Trainer from the City of Ely in 1, Ola Stanton, Perth City in 2, Ellie Riley, Heart of Midlothian in 3, Katie Goodburn, Warder Baths goes in 4, Anna Morgan, Hamilton Aquatics 5, Georgia Officer, Elgin in 6, in 7, Hannah Mayo from MNB, Shona Graham, Dundee City Aquatics in 8, Megan Ruddy, South Lanarkshire in 9. Don't discount Georgia Officer from Elgin. She might surprise Katie, Anna and Ellie, who I think most of the smart money might be on Ross.
Yeah, definitely. Anna, again, both Anna and Katie were in the 100 freestyle final, so we'll see how they've recovered in time for this. Looks like a good start.
Strong start in that middle lane from Katie.
Excellent start outside lane from Marie Wood and from Highland. She's out first to 15 there. This looks like Katie's race though.
Katie Goodburn well clear. This she's eating up the water in this one.
Again, another race with siblings. Rosie Morgan, Anna Morgan, Katie Goodburn. And Archie Goodburn, and it's Katie coming in there strong.
Second place in 5, I think, just Anna Morgan from Ola Stanton.
And that 32.33 from Katie, that's times that are making senior level finals. When you get to that 32, 31 on 50 breast long course, you're looking at making teams, and Katie will have her eye on European Juniors, I'm sure, in 2 weeks' time.
So we move on to the veterans, if I can call them that, at 17-18. Ailey Redpath from Midlothian goes in lane 0. Carla Nimmo, North Lanarkshire in 1. Ailsa McDonald from Northampton in 2. Bridget Lemazurier, East Lothian in 3. Katie Robertson, South Ayrshire in 4. Lucy Ross, South Lanarkshire 5. Jasmine Smith, Lerwick in 6. Amy Malone, Stirling Swim in 7. Hannah Cool, Port St Thomas in 8, and Yvonne Brown, South Lanarkshire in 9.
Yeah, we've got Katie Robertson here in lane 4 again. This is a swimmer that's represented Great Britain at European Juniors, World Juniors, a great pedigree again for such a girl at such a young age, and really someone that we can really look for in the future with Scottish swimming to make that breakthrough in women's senior swimming. Which
good to see Lucy Ross in lane 2 coming through, and hopefully she'll have a good swim in this one and push Katie all the way. Hannah Cool in lane 8 not taking part, but a good start already from Katie Robertson.
Yeah, Katie probably more 200 but a 100 swimmer, but again just showing her class here on this, and already 30 metres body length ahead of the field. There's a battle here for second and third, and it looks like Jasmine Smith from Lerwick could be in there, coming down from Shetland.
Bridget Lemazurier, I think, just gets second. Ailsa McDonald, the Anglo-Scot from Northampton, in 3rd place. And Lucy Ross is dropping out by 200s, just missing out in the medal. But very tight there, Ross. Less than 0.1 between 2nd, 3rd and 4th. 32.13 for Katie.
It just shows the importance of what we're talking about, those finishing skills. You know, there's 4 girls there in a line, blanket finish, and ultimately 2 are going to be happy and 2 are disappointed. And I couldn't say if it was, but that's just something you've got to make sure you don't leave to chance. You've got to get your hand on the wall. It's I always joke with the younger kids when I was teaching them at North Ayrshire that wall doesn't move. I didn't have to get there early to check it had moved in the night. It stays in the same place all the time. It's up to you to touch it.
So back to medal presentations. Bronze medalist rather in the 50 category. South Ayrshire's Ciara Sterica. Silver medalist from the city of Glasgow, Katie Shanahan. And the second gold medal for Inverclyde, Scottish National Age Group champion, Amy Watson.
Oh, it's nice to see. It's always nice to see new faces on the block. You know, it's for some of these kids, who knows? This could be the pinnacle of their career, but for some, it could be the stepping stone. It's your Olympics. You make it what you want.
On to the 16-year-olds. Well, it's a red top, but it's not Warner Bath. It's Perth City. It's Ola Stanton. I think she was the national champion when she was about 13 years old, so it's still back on that podium at 16. It's what we were saying earlier on, just keep working away. These things go in cycles. Anna Morgan, Hamilton Aquatics, are silver medalist and a Scottish National Age Group champion from Warner Bath, Katie Goodburn.
And it's again a little bit of background with Anna. Anna's a kid that was in the swimming club. Her twin sister Rosie was very successful at a younger age, and Anna was just a little bit plugging away, and now she's a full swimmer in her own right. She's now a medalist. She's now looking to make youth squads and youth development. And that's just a swimmer that stuck her time, has invested her time. She's had a good coach in Alex out there who's invested in her, and she's ultimately getting the rewards. And it's just a little note to people out there: you might not be here today, but that doesn't mean you can't not be here next year or the year after. It'll happen when you want it to happen and when you least expect it sometimes.
Back onto medals in the 17-18-year-old category. Nelson MacDonald, Northampton, bronze medalist. Bridget Lemuziri, East Lothian swim team, silver medalist and a Scottish National Age Group champion. From South Ayrshire, Katie Robertson.
Katie taking that in a Scottish National Age Group record there, so again just shows you that she's pushing the boundaries of this event more and more and more. She's now the fastest of all time at her age in Scotland, which is incredible when you think about how long the history of swimming is in this country. So again a real promising prospect. But who's to say those girls in second and third don't make those improvements in a couple of years' time?
Yeah, as you were saying, Ross, it's not just our sport. Athletics. I remember a quote from Steve Cram many years ago that my youngster went, and Steve Cram said that when he was a wee boy, he was finishing 5th and 6th at 13, 14, he kept plugging away, and a few years later he was maybe 2nd and 3rd. By the time he reached sort of 2021, he was top of the tree, and that stuck, if you bear that in mind, just keep plugging away for a lot of these youngsters, and you never know what might happen 10 years later.
It's obviously nice to be first, but when you're first, it comes pressures with bigger targets in your back. You're the person that everybody wants to beat. Sometimes it's nice to just be in that pack and eventually break through later. It's tough at the top, as they say.
So our boys butterfly, 11, 13-year-olds, Ben Smallwood, Ken Rawson 0, Oscar Bilbio, Hamilton Aquatics 1, Adam Candle, Hamilton Aquatics 2, Jake Gibson from the Brock in 3, Stephen Kravitz, East Lothian in 4, Murray Dixon, Stirling Swim 5, Alfie Maguire, City Sunderland 6, Magnus Bullock, Delting 7, Kieran Lennox, Aberdeen Performance in 8, Callum Melville, Grantham in 9. Stephen Kravitz, 27.47, 27.43 is the Scottish age group champion, is the Scottish 30-year-old age group record. Already he's off to a very strong start. Murray Dixon hanging in there in lane 5, and other side Jake Gibson from the block. But Stefan Kravitz well clear in this one, Ross.
Yeah, from first 15 it was an excellent.
Well, that is a new Scottish national age group record for Stefan Kravitz. 27:20, 27:43 was the previous record, and he shattered that.
We spoke about it at the beginning of the night that was potentially a record that could tumble, but from the start he was no coincidence. He went to 15 metres off the start, and it's no coincidence that he was first there, and he was, from then on in, was first at the end. It's these skills that are really setting you up for the future. Anybody can go in and just swim mindlessly. It's the kids that put the process and put the thought into it. That's what takes you further. That's what's going to make you a better senior athlete. That's what we're looking for inevitably. We want to see kids that are getting medals at 13 still getting them at 18. That's important, because otherwise it doesn't. The system's flawed.
Stefan hopefully still on that early stage of the journey. So our 40-year-old finalists are William Storer, South Aberdeenshire in 0. Reuben Kelly, Dumfries in 1. Duncan Young, South Ayrshire 2. Owen Ray, Warner Bass 3. Matthew Hand from Ards in 4. Tom Robertson, Aberdeen Dolphins 5. Dylan Cashmore, South Ayrshire 6. Conrad Slesser, Aberdeen Performance in 7. 8 is Adam Younger from Glenrothes, and Ewan Beattie, Warner Bass in 9. A number of these swimmers having 2, sometimes even 3 swims this evening. Matthew Hand back in the pool, Ewan Beattie another one. Reuben Kelly, William Storer.
It's always tough for these kids in the younger age groups, those 11 to 14s. They've not had as much a gap in between as the older guys in the morning, getting to go away and come back. They've had to stay here from the session and come back. It's quick turnarounds.
Strong start in lane 6. Dylan Cashmore going well. But over in lane 1, William Storer also going extremely well. Let's see if he can maintain that. Owen Ray in 3 coming through as well. Ross, it's anybody's race.
Yeah.
Matthew Hand perhaps in 4.
Yeah, looks like Owen Ray though just looks a bit
Owen
ahead.
Ray, Matthew Hand and William Storer. That is the 1, 2, 3. Owen Ray 28-27. Matthew Hand 28-38. And William Storer 28-78. Unfortunately there is a disqualification in that. Reuben Kelly in lane 1 for a technical infraction. So
it was an excellent start there from Dylan Cashmore in the first.
Wasn't it?
I'm really impressed by that. But again, just noticing there, just the last 5 metres, some of those boys weren't making those adjustments for the fall. It's really important on the touch, the 2-hand finish on breaststroke and fly, to really make that adjustment. If you're having to make that within those red markers, it's too late. Okay, and that's the difference it can be. You've got to take that breath, maybe about 7-8 metres out, spot the wall, and then know your count and trust your count. That's the one. Trust that you know that every time you do it in training at 6 or 7, you get used to that. It doesn't change, and that's what you've got to get the practice of that, and that comes from training. That's doing it every day. It always made me laugh. Get people asking you to, let's do a finishing session and let's do a turn session. Well, you swim 4,000 metres. That's a lot of turns in a pool in a session. You know, there's plenty of time to practice that. We don't need a dedicated 1 or 2 hours. You've got every opportunity yourself. Use them.
Yep. Thank you, Ross. So on to our 5th-year-old butterfly final. Jake Kirkham first, 0. Cameron Travis, Aberdeen Performance 1. Cameron Creaney, North Lanark in 2. Cameron Gordon, Dumfries 3. Ewan Jones, Millfield School 4. Rory McKinnon, Mulgambierst End 5. Corey Liversidge, South Ayrshire, South Aberdeen in 6. Alec Thompson, Warner Bath 7. Archie Dixon, City Glasgow 8. Derek Sigrix, Aberdeen Performance in lane number 9. Well, Rory in 4 and 5, and Evan Jones in 4 are probably the 2 strong fancies in this one. Rory McKinnon another 1 from M&B. Adams taken over his wing the last year and a half and is flying. Evan Jones, Millfield School, is probably just getting up to Tate. Oh, it's very tight. And Cameron Gordon also well there, 27-17, 27-27. That was, as we were talking, get that finish spot on, and that's the difference between first, second and third. 26-90 for Evan. Cameron 27-17 and Rory 27-27.
Again, just watching that there, I think Evan looks good for this 100 later in the week. just watching that lot, second 25, he really started to pull into it. It was a good start from Rory, but Evan just kept pulling through, and it'll be interesting to see if he can back that up in the 100 later in the week.
Another one in the family, his big sister Isabel, another one who was very good, or still is very good at butterfly. Last year she was actually the Scottish champion on 200 butterfly.
Yeah, she's Isabel's had a good age group career. She's looking to transfer that into senior swimming and represented Scotland at Commonwealth Youth Games in the Bahamas 2 years ago, and I think European Juniors as well. So again, promising again for another sibling.
So medal time again. And Derek McGowan, who, what is that he might actually be doing a bit of live stream this week.
He's got a great insight there, Derek. He's someone I grew up with. We swam together when we were younger. And, a great PE teacher now as well. I think he actually teaches at the same school as we spoke about here as Serena and Ellis, so at Bearsden Academy, and great to see him. He's probably been on a shift today and he's now here tonight, so kudos to the man.
So runner-up in the bronze medalist is Adam Candle from Hamilton Aquatics. Jake Gibson from the Brock was the runner-up, silver medalist, and at 27.20, Stefan Kravitz, East Lothian swim team, our Scottish national age group champion. So from the outside lane in this one, another one sneaking in under the radar from South Aberdeenshire, William Storer.
The thing I always like when the presentations is just seeing the contrast and the athletes up on the block. You see the difference in height, you see the difference in, they all look the same when they swim, but when you see them on poolside, you sometimes have to take a glance. There's some kids in there that swim big, as I call it, and it's always nice to see where people are in their own physiological development, never mind their chronological development.
Matthew Hand in that green top from Ards, our silver medalist, and Owen Ray from Morderbass, a 14-year-old Scottish national age group champion. Now back, is it more presentations or more swimming? Not quite sure whether there's another presentation to follow.
I think.
No, it's more swimming, Ross.
Excellent. This will be a good race, this, between Mark and Douglas. Douglas Kelly recently.
It's interesting, he's City Glasgow. Had been swimming with Adam up at M&B a few years back. But,
yeah, Douglas moved down to Mount Kelly to go to boarding school. I assume now he's back swimming here full time at City Glasgow, but it's nice to see him back. Really keen sprinter. Someone that maybe is just a sprinter, and we need to look at development.
Miles Laps lane 0 from West Lothian, James Taylor, Aberdeen in 1, Fraser Kelly, North Ayrshire in 2, Douglas Kelly, City Glasgow now in 3, Mark Ford, also City Glasgow 5 in 4, Lewis Hammond, South Ayrshire 5, Bryce Proctor, Dumfries 6, Marcus Standling, Hamilton Aquatics 7, Marcus Scully in Portsmouth North End 8, and Owen McBurney, Dumfries in lane 9. Marcus Scully, I think, used to swim somewhere else. Might have been Winchester.
Winchester Penguins, yes.
Well, thank you. Memory is still intact. But off to a very good start in lane 4 is Mark Ford. And Douglas Kelly in 3, chasing him as is James Taylor from Aberdeen in 1. Mark looks the stronger down the final stretch here, Ross.
Yeah, Mark's lane 1, Kieregger, James Traynor over there from Aberdeen. In lane 1, closer race there. Probably not where Mark was expecting the race to come from there, but James Taylor from Aberdeen really coming through there out in lane 1 again. Again, another swimmer outside lane, grabbing himself a medal.
Well, 26.55, pretty impressive time for Mark. Takes that pretty easily at the end of the day.
Just looking there as well, Fraser Kelly just missing out in a medal there in 4th place from the North Ayrshire. A 200 swimmer, more out and out. So, but to see he's got a bit of speed on that 50, that will set him up well for the 200, which is tomorrow night. But saying that, Mark's a great 200 swimmer tomorrow, but that'll be a race I'll be watching.
So on to the 17-18-year-olds. Jamie McDonald from Warner Baths in 0. Keir Edgar from first in 1. Greg Fairbairn, North Lanarkshire in 2. Ryan Ferguson first goes in 3. Archie Goodburn, Warner Baths in 4. Oscar Smiley, South Ayrshire in 5. Fraser Agnew, Aberdeen Performance in 6. Craig Greenock, City Glasgow in 7. Maxwell Cattermole, Ross St Thomas in 8. And John Keane, West Lothian in 9.
Oscar Smiley here in lane 5, a swimmer that's really come through in the last 18 months in these sprint events, and it's really nice to see someone that was in the pack and now starting to dominate in these bigger events.
That's Archie Goodburn in 4, most fastest in the heats, and has a slight advantage at the moment. But as you say, Oscar Smiley is sticking with him, as is Ryan Ferguson in lane 3. This is a tight one. And I think Goodburn just has a slight advantage coming into the red zone.
Ryan Ferguson in the,
and it's a tight, well, it is Goodburn just 25.93. Ryan Ferguson 26.03, and we were looking over that far side, and Keir Edgar sneaks in 3rd place, 26.28. Well, here we have a surprise. Ryan Ferguson sure came into the meet, and you can see how delighted he is from your caption. That's what we were saying earlier on. We do get the odd surprise that swimmers just turn up on the day, produce something special.
And that's Keir backing up his 100 backstroke from earlier with a bronze there on that 55. So there's 2 medals tonight for Keir, as well as obviously Archie, who swam the 200 breast earlier. It's good to see though, actually, just looking across that event there, you had John breaststroke, 200 breaststroke, doubling up with the 55. Greg Fairbairn again,
Greg
200
Fairbairn,
breaststroke.
another one, yep.
And as wild as it sounds, the contrast between breaststroke and butterfly are very similar. They are very timing strokes, and if you know a little bit about history of swimming, butterfly came about because breaststroke was starting to go away. It was so the similarities of the stroke, they know they seem worlds apart, but they actually, if you're quite good at one, you find you're quite good at the other.
So Rudy McKinnon, bronze medalist in the 15-year-old category, and Lewis Hammond, bronze medalist in the 6-year-old category.
Nice to see Lewis on the podium there. His father was formerly coach at South Ayrshire, Robert, been in swimming for a long time, and it's really nice to see again another swimmer coming through, biding his time.
Cameron Gordon, Dumfries, silver medalist in the 15-year-old category, and Miles James Taylor from Aberdeen Amateurs, our silver medalist in the 6-year-old category, and our Scottish National Age Group champion from Millfield School, Evan Jones, and our Scottish National Age Group champion, Dublin, second one tonight for Mark Ford, City Glasgow.
Just looking at James there, he's not had that smile off since he's got there. I think he's really surprised by it, and it's great to see there's somebody that's come in, went in, had a great race and come out with such a great reward.
Absolutely.
And absolutely delighted to be up there.
Good to see handshakes all round from these guys.
It's got to be that way, you know. These guys are pushing you, and you've got to respect that. They're not in there to make up numbers. They're there to beat you, and ultimately the best person will win on the day, and you've got to respect that. If you're not prepared to come second or third, then you shouldn't be in the race. Personally, you've got to be prepared to.
And the thing is, you learn more from a defeat sometimes than you do from winning. You know what you've got to do next time round. when you get back in that pool.
You've hit the nail on the head there, Roger. The key thing is you're always learning. It's every time you step in the pool, bad, good, indifferent, there's something to take from it, and that's how you build on. That's even the perfect race. I bet that they would say they could have done something differently. Yeah. And your mind's really good at playing. If you have a good swim, you kind of forget how bad, how sore it was. It's integral.
Well, Kieran got a bit of a shock, I think, and a smile, getting bronze medal in that 17-year-old category. Ryan Ferguson, another one with probably even a bigger smile on his face, finishing silver medalist. And Archie gets Scottish National Age Group champion for that 50 butterfly swim we've just seen.
And obviously these three boys will be looking to enjoy this week as much as they can, because this will be the last opportunity they have to race it. Not the last opportunity, but the last time they'll get to swim heats and finals at this event. Yep. And it's the kind of turning point, you know. It's the next time when they come to a major meet, it's a little bit more difficult to make finals because you're up against guys that are 22, 23. It becomes open. It's you've got to be prepared for that.
So that concludes all the individual events. But there's a wee bit of a different finish to our age group championships this year. We have a variety of medleys in the evening, or freestyle events, freestyle relays. So the first one is a mixed 14 to 16 400 metres medley relay. So as we were talking earlier on, 2 girls, 2 boys, and you can put the 2 girls in first and the 2 boys, or you do it the other way around, or you stick a boy in at the beginning, boy at the end, or whatever you like. It's a bit of tactics and a bit of fun, and it's sometimes getting that tactic right.
I think in World Swim at the moment, the tactic is, because of Britain having Adam Peaty, is that they have to have a male on breaststroke, so it's kind of slightly taking the fun out of it a little bit. That when it was brought in, it was kind of to show diversity and you could have different things, but with Adam being so fast, it's kind of forced every other country to put males on breaststroke, and you tend to find they end up putting a male on the fly as well. So it's kind of, you're starting to find it at a world level, it's female first, 2 males in the middle, and then a female to finish.
So we're on to our first of 3 heats. Aberdeen Dolphins in 0, Ren 96 in lane 1, that's the B of Aberdeen Dolphins. Their A team is in 2, South Aberdeenshire is in 3, Stirling Swim 4, Arbroath St Thomas 5, West Lothian, their B team in lane 6, West Aberdeenshire in 7, Heart of Midlothian B team in lane 8, and first C team goes in 9. So very commanding start in lane number 6. It's the B team for Swim West Lothian, Thomas Coates. Thomas Coates will hand over to James Keane. So it'll be no surprise what's coming up now, Ross.
Also, the added fun of the relays is these takeovers. Some kids get a little bit twitchy on those blocks and they just go a little bit too early, so it's just important just to be a little bit safe. Looks like there was some clean takeovers there, but you never know.
So there we have West Lothian with James Keane back in the pool. You can see how effective he is on the breaststroke section. Looks like the Hearts swimmer Jack Brown has pulled Hearts into second place, but they're a long way back over on the other side of the pool in lane 1. Ren 96, Taylor Walker.
And as you can see, as I said, I think there's only 2 girls in this breaststroke leg, and the majority are boys, and kind of becoming a little bit of a way at the moment. One thing you're noticing as well this year is you've also got C teams in. There's a small rule change to allow more than 2 relay teams for clubs. As down south in England and Wales, they get the opportunity to have C teams at the British Championships. We were only limited in Scotland to 2, but this year they've changed the rule to allow more teams to compete.
So James Keane hands over. Samarinis goes in for them on the butterfly, and this is where some of the tactics might come into play. Girls are going to have to try and ensure that West Lothian win this one. If they can't, they've got a good healthy advantage. But Here comes Finlay Wallace for Arbroath St Thomas.
No, he's definitely eating away some of that gap there.
Chris Dixon and made 4 for Stirling Swim, also coming into the mix.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Finlay overtakes here and puts Arbroath St Thomas in front. It's had a really strong leg.
He's virtually destroyed this race, almost level now, and you have the satisfaction of passing over to Natasha Phillips, who's got a very healthy advantage. Caitlin Gillis will go in for West Lothian, and kind of fancy that it might well be all over now.
Yeah, it just shows you how different the difference in the swimmer going in can really make a difference in this event. You could be so far ahead, and just by the male or the female going in, it can change. It is a very tactical event. You've got to see where you can go.
And certainly it's looking very, very good in lane 5 now. Natasha Phillips going very strongly for Arbroath St Thomas. They're at least 5 metres clear. Lane Campbell for Stirling Swim might get them into second place, I fancy. That's the best they're going to do. Arbroath St Thomas well clear, Ross.
Yeah, really strong from that fly line. It just changed, and it does look like Stirling Swim are coming through here strong in that last, and it could all change and look like West Lothian were first by a long way, and they could potentially end up maybe even 4th, but I think they're going to hold on to 3rd place.
Well, it was pretty tight at the end, but Natasha just held off that late charge. Cracking race though. You saw different styles throughout that race, Ross. Different lanes in the lead, and quite a very close finish nearly at the end.
I think it's great. Like Scottish Women have taken the positive step by adding this into the calendar. I don't think the British Summer Champs have added it in this year. I think in the future they will, but it's good to see Scottish Women being ahead of the curve and aligning herself with the Olympic programme.
So barely half a second at the end of the day between Arbroath St Thomas and Stirling Swim. I'll give you the lineup in the second heat. Dundee City Aquatics B team is in 0. First B team in 1. North Ayrshire's A team is in 2. Dundee City Aquatics A in 3. East Lothian, they're in 4. First A team goes in 5. Heart of Midlothian A team goes in 6. Again, Bearsden in 7. South Lanarkshire in 8. And Inverclyde in 9.
Just looking again at for first here, Sarah Coffey leading off first generation. Again, her mother swam at Cumbernauld. Elaine Coffey, at least it was Paul, actually was coached by my grandfather. So again, you see, it's keep it in the family. So it's great to see someone's kid now swimming at the pinnacle of age group swimming in Scotland. It's really nice to see.
Your old team North Ayrshire in lane 2. Abby Kane.
Yeah, Abby Kane leading off. Para silver medalist from Rio de Janeiro in 2016. Really looking to build. She's had a tough time, Abby, just off the back of Rio. I think a lot of success came her way, and she, at a young age, at 13 years old, having that was a lot of pressure, and she maybe didn't herself cope with it that well, and she's now starting to build up. And I speak to Jess, who's obviously taken over from me at North Ayrshire, doing a great job, really trying to take her forward.
Nice that she's able to compete at this event. The para swimmers are able to take part in Scottish Nationals. Of course, they've got to get qualifying times, but maybe in the case of Abby, this gives her an opportunity to take part and represent her club in a relay, which is fantastic.
I think Abby's focus is at Para Championships in a couple of weeks' time, so she's here racing, but really her focus is elsewhere.
Yeah. Nice wee bonus for her, you could say, Ross.
Definitely. And on merit too, she's a fast swimmer, she deserves to be in it.
Yeah. So at the moment, looks like lane 5, Jake Kirkham. First, that's their A team, Jake Kirkham, very strong. That's the reason for him doing the backstroke section. Liam Murphy will take them forward on breaststroke, so it'll be interesting to see if they've got a commanding advantage at the halfway mark and how the other teams react. Also going very nicely in lane number 3, Dundee City Aquatics, Adam Young.
And as you saw from the previous race, that the way that the race is sitting just now doesn't really mean anything. It's it could all change. We had 3 different leads there, and but again, South Lanarkshire outside and here in lane 8 doing quite well as well, holding up, not too far out the touch.
Lucy Lucas for East Lothian, probably in about 4th place, very good backstroker. Well, not a lot between 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th at the moment. First with a very good advantage, and you'd expect Liam Murphy probably to push on and try and capitalise on that. Dundee City Aquatics still going pretty well with Shona Graham.
We've got a good battle here at
and you can see Hearts getting into the mix. That'll be Ellie Riley, I'm sure, with Artemid Lothian. They're now just about getting towards 3rd place. Anna Mayoff for M&B in lane 7 beside Hearts.
I see Ellie Riley probably come through this second 50 to really bring the Hearts group into contention for 2nd place.
Yeah, Fraser Claxton will go in and try and belt it on the butterfly, and of course we have Emma Russell.
Yeah, I could see Hearts really strong back end on this. I could see Hearts, if you give Emma some room, she might be able to manoeuvre herself. She's always dropped 56 tonight. That could be 56 half a really takeover.
Well, a cracking swim from Liam Murphy's giving team from first best part of 7 seconds. Zara Cowan will try her best to maintain that. And
Iona McLeod in here.
Iona McLeod also up there. Very strong swim in lane 9 from Inverclyde. Matthew Garrity's obviously brought them fairly well into contention on the breaststroke as well. It's Aaron Gray. Inverclyde in 2nd, you don't see that. There you do now, they're really motoring, and I think they're going to be in the lead with the final 100 to go.
He's going to hand over to Amy Watson, who we saw earlier on that 50 breaststroke, so she's bang on form. So it's a great, real good line-up from Shirley. She's got that a real good balance in her team, and looks like they're going to be ahead at the right point.
Well, Ellie Hamilton for first is not a bad anchor for them. Got just over a minute. Emma Russell a long way back for Hearts. They're lying in 5th. They might get somewhere in the picture very shortly.
Sean Craigmile
Inverclyde well clear in this one.
And Sean Craigmile in for East Lothian, who's a tidy freestyler, so he's got more 200 and 400. I've seen him in events. See how he holds off in this 100, see if he can build on this 2nd length.
Andrew Sutherland coming through very strongly for North Ayrshire as well. They are certainly challenging for 3rd place. It looks as though it's Inverclyde and East Lothian and North Ayrshire. That's going to be the 1, 2, 3 in this one. It looks as though Inverclyde from the outside lane might just be hanging on. Amy Watson, is she? No, it's East Lothian just getting it from Inverclyde. And North Ayrshire take 3rd. Now Sean Craigmile, 4:23.85. That's the time to beat now. Well, disqualification in this one. Lane 8 for a technical infraction.
It's like we spoke about earlier, you know, 9 times out of 10 on a relay, it's that takeover. It's just getting a little bit, because you get the rolling start, you're allowed your steps, but the onus is always on the person on the block. You've got to be prepared for the swimmer to take an extra stroke or pause. It's the blame always lies with the person taking over, so more than likely that was what happened there for South Lanarkshire.
Thanks, Ross. I'll be able to go home and tell my daughter repeatedly it's always her fault when she goes off too early. because it has happened, I can assure you.
It's one of these things, and especially at the top level.
It's adrenaline.
It is, and you can make massive gains on it. So you do. I've been in the position myself where I thought I got the team DQ'd. Fortunately, it was just a very good takeover. But I remember it was a 200 4x2, and I remember thinking for the whole 200, oh dear.
So our final heat: City Glasgow's B team in 0, Carnegie in 1, South Ayrshire 2, Dumfries in 3, City Glasgow A in 4, Warnder A in 5, Perth City 6, West Lothian 7, Aberdeen Performance 8, Warnder Bass B in 9. Now City Glasgow and Warnder, fancy that's where the battle ultimately will come from, but it might not start out that way, as Jack Munsey has got Perth City off to a flyer.
Yeah, Jack really taking it out this first part of the race, putting a bit of distance in front. Again, we can just we've sought from every race. It means absolutely nothing at this point. But again, if you can give your team something to work with, then hopefully it's enough.
Yeah, your squad member Jack, and has given Perth a good advantage at this early stage. Aberdeen Performance with Cameron Travis, your squad member, going very well for them in second. So Perth hand over to Ola Stanton, who's already performed very well, got a medal in the breaststroke earlier on. Over on that far side, Ellie Turner has had a good effort for Carnegie. Sam Harrison goes in for them.
Jamie Littlefield going in for Warlander out there just at the bottom of the screen in lane 9. Good representative of British Summer Chance for Warlander on the 50, I'm sure, so he'll be strong in here and see if he can chew into that lead.
Still advantage at the moment with Ola Stanton.
I wouldn't count out Dumfries over in lane 3. They've got a strong back end with Bryce Proctor and Amy Harkness.
They are indeed, they're actually coming through very strongly, and it's fancy 3 teams are going to be pretty tight at halfway. Perth will hand over Catherine Bailey for Butterfly. Warnder will pass on to Natalie Jones, and Dumfries, British Proctor as you say, but the 2 teams in the middle, City Glasgow A and Warnder A, still with the big guns. Angus Allison and Mark Ford, Katie Shanahan to finish for City Glasgow. At the moment it's advantage with Dumfries in 3, but kind of fancy that Mark Ford will bring City Glasgow into second place by the time we reach the final takeover.
There's some strong back 100 swimmers here. We've got Angus Allison going in for Warrender, Katie Shannon for Glasgow, and Amy Harkness for Dumfries. So Bryce will be trying to give Amy as much room to play with, because Angus is going to be in a strong freestyler, and Katie, we know all about her. So I think Mark is going to get into Bryce here, and I can see City Glasgow winning it from here.
Yeah, certainly Mark has given City Glasgow every chance. Amy Harkness will have her work cut out to maintain that advantage for Dumfries. There's nothing in it, barely half a second, 0.9 and 0.42, 16:42, 15:90. Warnder Baths, their A team only going in 5th place, although I kind of fancy them to get on a podium, but as you say, Ross, City Glasgow,
yeah,
could say I've scooshed this one.
Yeah, but strong back end with Mark. It's nice when you can have somebody to just drop their 26 and the 50, and Katie, as I said, we know all about, we know what she's about, we know what she can do. It's the writing was on the wall.
Well, Angus Allison is flying, but he's not going to have enough water to finish the job off. He's come from nowhere to take second. Katie Shanahan looks very relaxed in the front. Angus Allison will bring Warner back into second place. It looks like Dumfries just going to hold on, just ahead of Perth City. So 4:14:45. I think that's a new junior record for City Glasgow.
I think it would be for whoever won, due to it being the first time they've ran this event, Roger, so added bonus of winning it, you get a national record as well.
Yeah. So for well, it will be, but it's not for the City Glasgow A team. We have a technical infraction. So
I did wonder, one of the takeovers.
So Wonder A, 4:16.36. So you just wonder whether, we don't know why there was the disqualification, where it happened, but the likely ones are normally the takeovers.
There was a takeover in there, but again, you go by what the clock says. The diving blocks have panels in them. They can tell the reaction times of the movers, and if it's in a parameter, then if it's over that, then it's taken as a flyer. It's just the thing. They're not. I think it happened last year to Warrender, to their A team in the 4x2 boys, and they won it and they got DQ'd. So it happens at Olympics, happens at Worlds, it happens anywhere. It's just one of these things, and they'll learn from it.
Yeah, it's happened at Team Champs, when we have the Team Champs that follows this, and I think there's been a couple of years in succession that the Warrender team on the relays got disqualified, and that actually cost them the award as Team Champs, and it went to City Glasgow. So it's roles reversed in this one tonight. City Glasgow disqualified, so Warrender take the plaudits in that one.
Well, we had the weekend the Bucks University Championships teams, and again, and the relays were even more important because they were double points, and we had a case where somebody went and it meant that instead of getting 20 points we got 0, and that meant every other team got double points, and it was a lot for us to catch up, and inevitably missed out in a top 3 place, but look, they'll learn from it. It's take that risk you take. You want to be fast, and just if you go a little bit too early, it's one of these things.
Yeah. Obviously the coach will find out later on what happened, whether it was takeover 1, 2, 3 or 4, or whether maybe one of the touches was wrong at the end. That sometimes can happen. You maybe done a one-handed touch instead of a two-hand, or there might have been something bad on a backstroke turn. It could be a variety of anything. So we could speculate all night and still get the wrong answer.
And that's why for me, when you swim an IM event, it's one of the IM is the most technical event, because there's so many different things that could happen in that, when you're especially with the rule changes as well, when you've got the crossover turn, which is a new kind of thing, and back to breast, not really part of the relay there, but the rule, what somebody interprets as safe could be interpreted by somebody else, and that's ultimately what it comes down to, is an interpretation of what the officials see. And so with anyone that swims IM, that's the biggest thing they've got to focus on. It can make or break a swim.
As a technical official myself, Ross, there's times I'll look at turns and you'll think, was that legal? And if you're in doubt, the bottom line is you always give the benefit of the doubt to the swimmer, and in most cases, if you think that it's something that you think is a bit different but it's within the rules, you're happy to give that benefit of the doubt to the swimmer. You've got to be absolutely certain in your own mind that something's happened, otherwise it's unfair. You're trying to be equally fair to every contestant in that pool.
And it's something you actually see at younger level. When you go to grading meet, sometimes you see over officiating, and it's so detrimental at that younger age. A conversation at the side could be had, and you could put somebody off, and that's a bit of an extreme, but taking that side, having that. John Anderson was somebody as an official that I always looked up to as a youngster, and I think every official that works here has worked with John, and he was fantastic at just taking you aside, explaining to you what you'd done, saying next time you'll get, and you learned from it, and he had such a great approach to it, and I think he's brought that into the officials. I know Gene King said to me that take your time, kid on, you're doing something, and let you go through your process before making a decision. So it's great to hear, and I can see some fun up here on the blocks.
Now we'll just check who was third in that last one. So the Perth team are our bronze medalists because of that technical infraction. Perth team, nice surprise for them. Jack Munsey, Ola Stanton, Catherine Bailey, Dermot Taylor. Our silver medalists, team from Dumfries, Ava Simpson, Cameron Allison, Bryce Proctor, Amy Hartness. And our Scottish national age group champions in the mixed 14 to 16 400 metre medley relay are Wanda Bass, Abby Sinclair, Katie Goodburn, Jason English and Angus Allison. So that's the last presentation of this evening. That brings proceedings this evening to a close. So some cracking swims tonight all across the whole of these 6 events, and even to finish off with a wee bit of excitement in the relays.
It's an excellent first day of hopefully 5 to open Scottish national age groups. It's a fantastic meet. It's a great opportunity for these guys to be through the experience of how these bigger competitions work, and I think it's a fantastic competition we're lucky to have, and hopefully that's just day 1 of 5 exciting racing days.
Yeah, I always look forward to this. It gets put in the calendar, 3 days holiday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and of course Saturday, Sunday. It's almost nice to go back to work for the rest, but because it is hard work, Ross, as you say, you're here from about 7 in the morning till about 8 at night, and it's constant.
You're grabbing lunch when you can as a coach. You're trying to be prepared, and it's as I said at the beginning, these guys are here at 7 o'clock. The coaches are trying to secure space, it's trying to mark their territory, and then you'll find that these guys will wait till the last swimmers at the swim down pool, and that's important, man. You're asking these kids to do the right things. You've got to stay and show them that you're willing to wait with them.
Yeah. So that concludes this evening's live stream. Big thanks to Ross Douglas, coach now at Edinburgh University. I'm sure Ross has been delighted to join us this evening, give us all that expertise. Pleasure working with you again, Ross.
Thank you very much for having me. I've enjoyed myself.
We'll be back here just after 5 o'clock tomorrow for a 5:15 start. So from Ross Douglas and Robert Taylor, good evening from Tollcross.
Good night.